Flame on! How's everybody doing tonight? I'm here with my special guest, Robert. Robert Bates.
Yo,
How you doing?
yo, what up, everyone?
Happy
But
New Year.
Happy New Year. Yep, we're finally getting around to this.
Finally. And for those uninitiated, this is just a little project. Robert and I. This is not part of New Direction verse or anything like that. This is probably going to be a standalone. But if you want a sequel to it, please let us know in the comments.
Or we get a flash of brilliance. To do more.
Of course, of course. But the
But yeah,
premise,
basically, yeah. You go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you explain the premise. You explain the premise.
Okay, the premise of this is what if Damian debuted earlier? As you all know, for Elseworld stories, there are certain characteristics and that do not apply. One of these was actually Damian Wayne himself for a time, or at least the concept of Bruce Wayne having a biological child.
Because, yeah, they did the son of the demon, but then that was then stated almost right away, not canon. But they did toy with it, especially in Kingdom Come.
They did.
Yep.
Well, Kingdom Come's the most recognizable.
Yeah, there was also that one about the Batman army or whatever.
Yes,
yeah.
The tales of I forget Talent Wayne, but I forget the exact name.
Yeah, I forget too, but it had follow League of Batman. That was the follow up. That was the follow up to it. But yeah, it was basically they took all of these different costume ideas they had to plan for Protocol, the one that gave us an outfit closer to the Keaton Batman one, and basically they decided, you know what, we did put such good stuff into these designs. Why don't we actually do an Elseworld and have it be, Batman died and Ra's al Ghul makes an army of Batman utilizing all of these outfits that were actually ideas that Bruce had actually written down, and they're like, too scary, too this, too that.
But that's not the one we're actually basing this on.
No.
We're basing this off the original inspiration for Damian Wayne as a character, and that was Son of the Demon by Mike Barr.
That's what I was talking about. That's when he was born.
Yes. And that story is just straight off the great era that is Dennis O'Neil's run. Batman versus Ra's al Ghul, Talia ends up with child because, again, I don't want to risk getting demonetized, so I have to be careful what I say. And then Bruce becomes increasingly overprotective and burdened by the concept of fatherhood over the course of the story until Talia, which is very keen to this era. All this is pre-Morrison, mind you. But Talia decides to do the honorable thing and give the baby up for adoption and fakes it.
Claims she miscarried.
But the way our little thought experiment is going to work.
Wait, this is canon again.
Yes, we're canonizing this. And two, if we did this in the early 90s.
Yep.
Using Mike Barr's run as an origin rather than I'm not going to say hackney recollection of the run by Grant Morrison, because Grant Morrison's run is fantastic.
But Morrison came up with it, and I do believe it when he said when they said I did not know about it. I could actually believe it.
Yes, because by the time they got the gig, let's say if we factor script production, late 2004, early 2005, and that Elseworld comic came out in 1987.
Yep.
So unless he/they, I'm using both because they prefer both. So unless they actually took the time to reread the book, which we all know by the interview they didn't do, unless they took the time to reread it, you were going to get something like this. You were going
exactly.
And Juju says, "Hey, can you guys do me a favor? Hey, let us know what the favor is." But I think is that a spam?
I think it could be.
Okay, possibly. But at least we're getting decent viewership so far. So. But with that being said, where do we want to base this? Because I know this would be like after Nightfall, like 93, 94, where we're basing this.
Yep. I'd say so. Tim is around.
Yes, because he debuted in 1988 in the main books, 1989.
Yep. I would say this is of the. I would say that. This could be right after Prodigal, or during Prodigal.
Yeah, because I know Iron Maiden. I mean, Iron Death of the Maidens when Ra's al Ghul was permanently was
Whoa,
shepherd.
that's not the 2000s.
Wait, that was early. I thought that was late '90s.
I know it was Rucka when he was on board.
Okay, that might
Rucka wrote it, so that should tell you when.
yeah, that should be right at maybe 2000, 2001.
Hold on, let me double check.
While he's waiting on that, we'll go ahead and start with the basic premise. So basically, we'll go with the Mike Barr run right where it ended off, and
Mm-hmm.
and then in this new origin, Raish ends up finding out what Talia did, and then sends a strike team of assassins to track down the foster.
2004. 2004.
2004.
That's when Death and the Maidens happened.
Okay,
Remember also, but remember, Race was still alive by Hush.
that is true. That is true. So that means by the time we get to the return of Ra's al Ghul, Raish was only shelled for like what, 2, maybe 3 years.
That's true, but remember that was because Morrison wanted him.
Okay, Morrison brought him back for that. Okay.
Yeah, because that was during Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul was done during that, and again, it was a convoluted way to bring him back.
But we'll get to that because all that is going to play into this little experiment. So we'll get to that.
Yep.
But as I was saying, yes. So this would be around in real world. This would be around 94, 95.
Mm-hmm.
Asians are finding out about the baby. Sends a strike team to raid the foster parent. We don't know who the foster. We don't know the foster parents by name. There's a brief reference to them in Kingdom Come, but Ivan doesn't go into detail.
Yeah, we're going by Ivan. We're keeping the Ivan instead of Damian.
We're keeping the Ivan characterization. So if you haven't read Kingdom Come,
The Kingdom. More specifically, The Kingdom is where we got more about him.
Yes, but Ivan did play a supporting role in Kingdom Come. He just didn't get a lot of page time.
Exactly, but I've used The Kingdom as more of the base because it's still Mark Waid's writing.
True.
Now, just to be clear, we have no intention on bringing Nightfire in.
No.
We're not doing that.
And if you don't know who that is, read both books. That's all I'm going to say on that.
I'll say it. I liked it for the sake of that Elseworld.
But if we're actually taking main canon into account,
no,
definitely. That's the Nightwing equivalent of Bat Says. Come on.
Well,
I mean, not that egregious, but you get what I'm saying.
I know, but anyway.
Back to this. All right, so this would be around 94, right after Prodigal, 94. So around.
Oh, no, I would say this. It's during Prodigal, while Jason is Batman.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking is when now this is our agreement. This is when Dame and when Ivan shows up. Correct?
Oh, yes, John Paul. Wait, are you talking about John Paul Valley or another Jason?
No, not Jason. Dick.
Okay. I'm about to say
when Dick was Batman.
Okay.
Remember, Bruce was still he was still taking time off after Night's End.
Okay.
Remember, so I'm thinking we could utilize that time when Bruce was away for everything to happen.
Keep going for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm just wondering if we're having a bit of a confusion on the timeline here. Just to make it clear, Jay and I have not gone back over this since we first started cooking this up a long time ago. So there's going to be some discrepancies here as we try to reconnect everything. So yeah, like I'm waiting for him to get back so we can clarify it. So everyone excited for the new year? Can't really hear anything, obviously, and I'm not able to read anything at the moment. Okay, Juju, whoever you are, what is with all of this? Please sub. What is all this about? Okay, Juju, unless you're a bot, please knock it off. No, we're not. Don't be coming here expecting people to just become sub to your stuff. Jahit, you back? Jahit. No, Iban. Iban. Cameron. We're saying
Sorry about
Iban.
that. I had to step out for a bit. What I missed?
Nothing much, although I think this Juju person is a bot.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
But I was trying to clarify. I wanted to wait for you to come back to clarify. We're having it be that we're talking about right now around Prodigal is when he's going to show up into Bruce's life, correct?
Yes.
So that's why I was saying this could be during Prodigal is when it happens because, like I said, Bruce is not in Gotham.
Yeah. Okay. We'll settle on that.
Okay, so we could use that while Dick is running around in the back costume. Bruce could. This is where we could fit in Bruce meeting him.
And it could just be probably the same way with the Man Bats, with the same as we saw in Grant Morrison's 2006. Bruce might not be in the cowl, but
Yeah, exactly.
I can see Talia doing that. Like, hey, this might be a fraction or a split in the League of Assassins, and then rather than laying low in Cambodia, Talia just sends Ivan to Bruce.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And at first, she could just simply say it's her child, and then later on reveal it's yours too. Or she first just simply says this child, this young man is needs protection, and you're good at doing that.
There's one thing I want to know, Talia.
Yes, beloved.
Okay, we're actually doing this. All right, I'll try not to make it weird. Did you lie to me that day in the desert?
Yes, I did. You were not becoming yourself. It was something I did not want to see. I thought having a child would make you stronger, but in that moment, it was making you weaker.
I see. How did they find him? Did you raise him?
No, I put him in foster care. A young couple was been raising him and taking care of him until I felt it was right. But my father found out sooner, because of course he did.
You know he's the heir of the demon. You should have known what would happen.
Of course I did. Like someone here's my own assumption. Someone I trusted betrayed me. Whether or not by coercion or of their own choice, I don't care.
You had my son groomed and trained by one of my greatest enemies, and you didn't even bother to tell me.
Like, I'm telling you now.
Just tell me one thing. The Lazarus Pits. Is it? I know what you're going to say, beloved. But after what Joker did to Jason in Bosnia, the pit cannot restore a body that badly damaged.
Oh, she's lying, of course.
Depending on what the Joker did to him, his mind would be rabid. The chances of him overcoming the demon's madness would be slim to none.
Would you really want that? Would you really want him back like that? In addition to the Lazarus's madness, it would already induce.
You're right. It's not worth the risk.
Although then we would put in her mind like, I dare not tell him the truth. Even I still find it hard to believe.
Yeah, we can throw an inner monologue there. Like, yeah, Talia's lying for her chief, but she's also trying to comfort Bruce at the same time.
Of course, I'd be able to take a notion about what she and Jason has.
Can we please not reference Lost Days?
I'm sorry. What the hell was up? To be fair, that always threw continuity out the window because they were treating it like my father is dead, which was before Hush when Rach was still alive. It's like even Judd Winnick didn't get the continuity right. Anyway.
So Bruce is still recovering, still rebuilding Gotham, his image, but he's not officially going to take the mantle back from Dick just yet. He wants to do a DNA test, lay out the land. And Dick is concerned because Bruce, in continuity speaking, real world, it was about it was about 7 years ago, but real world, but in universe, it wasn't that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just lost Jason. Even if this, but then Bruce admits Jason wasn't a warrior, just a traumatized boy I anchored to keep him from becoming worse.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't truly ready for this life, let alone the field. He wasn't you. But Damian isn't Jason.
Exactly.
He's rambunctious, ruthless, almost sociopathic. The ends justify the means. I'm responsible for what Ra's tried to create.
Which Jason would then say, and the fact that he's your blood compared to the rest of us doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with it.
I never said that. All I'm saying is I have a responsibility to him.
No, I could see even Jason at this, not Jason, why did you say Jason? Dick at this point, this earlier, because he's still like, this is him still being, like.
Post-crisis.
Well, not just that, but it's also the fact that he's still trying to come to grips with the notion of, remember, Prodigal is also the story that brought him back into the fold after being with the Titans.
True.
So this is a case where there's still that little lingering of the doubt from him. So he said that's why I had him say that. Now that's something that'd be more that Tim would more say, but here's a big difference. Remember, actually, no, it's not that big of a difference actually because
in this era, Tim.
No, it is. It is still a big difference because here Tim still has his dad.
Yes, Jack Drake. Excuse me, I can't believe I'm
Jake. Jake.
Jake Drake. Okay, that's not a double. That doesn't get annoying fast. But yeah, he was unalived by Captain Boomerang in Identity Crisis, I want to say.
Yeah. So
we're at least 10 years away from that.
And so I see that Tim is not as like he's still protective of Bruce, but it's not going to be as much of like holding on to the Robin identity as he would have been 1 year later.
Yeah, by 1 year later, Tim was holding on by the seams. But by this point, like, hey, Tim would probably throw a little bit of shade at Ivan because, hey, Tim and Ivan are roughly the same age. And granted, yes, chronologically, they did. If we are canonizing Ivan, they would have debuted around the same time. But Tim debuted at the age of 12 and became Robin shortly thereafter, whereas Ivan was a baby leading into that. So by the time we get to Prodigal, Ivan is no more than about 7 or 8, if we count the 2 years of his foster family.
Exactly. And again, much like Damian, of course, he's a little shit.
To an extent, just not as rambunctious about it. Because Ivan in the kingdom was a lot very courteous.
It was more reserved. He was more. I would say this. He was more of a sport pump. Like, here's the thing: if Damian is more raised to be the killer and assassin, Ivan is more raised to be more just like Ra's himself.
Yes, regal, aristocratic, core.
Exactly. Where, like I said, I feel like Damian was more like Talia.
Yeah, Damian was more akin to his mother, or at least Morrison's vision for his mother. Whereas
Which again, I still do not have. Am I the only person who doesn't find what he did with Talia that egregious when you take into account his justification?
Compared to Dennis O'Neil, it's egregious.
Well, yes, but again, it's more of a case where compared to Grant's take on Magneto, where he ignored all of his characterization.
True.
I think His explanation being Talia has been fed up. She's tired of waiting. So this is the ultimatum. Do it or I'm going to give up being good and embrace my father's ways and show you just what I can do.
It could have been set up better, but
But there's justification at least compared to Magneto.
Yeah.
Where even more themselves, they would eventually admit, oh, I didn't really, like, he didn't even know much about the, he was just going off of what Stan Lee wrote, not what Claremont did. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just here. Sorry about that noise, everyone.
Yeah, sorry about that, my brother. Sorry.
But back to this. So, okay, we're in Prodigal. Tim, this is pre-Young Justice, right?
Yes, pre-Young Justice. And Tim had just got his ongoing.
Okay.
In fact, we have Stephanie running around.
Okay, so this is right around that time. Okay. Ivan would be such a cock block to Tim. It's not even funny.
Although I could then see a point when Stephanie finds out she's pregnant. It's like, no way it can be yours.
For one, you're a complete dork. Number two, you're so busy trying to pull this double life crap. You know Goodwell's going to bite you in the ass within a year.
Number three, have you done anything beyond making out? Do what your labor says, like, relax, boy, hostage, you're not the guilty party. A few makeout sessions does not a baby make.
Obviously. First of all, we're no different than animals. The only difference is we have a conscience of thought. We live, we breed, we die. It's a pretty simple concept.
I could still see the Stephanie and in this case with Ivan starting a lot sooner. You know, the friendship, the brotherly sisterliness.
First of all, Tim, you're making an idiot out of yourself. Be prepared. Just make sure to have a lot of chocolate on you.
And how would you know that?
I raised a bat dragon, not to mention I deal with people across an entire compound. I know when someone's having their menstrual and when they're not.
Okay. You asked.
You asked. Are you sensitized to everything, or you just lack tact? Some of it.
That's what I would say. This Ivan is even more so intending this than even Damian would.
Oh no, Damian just goes out of his way to be a dick. Ivan would just troll everybody involved.
But like I said, I can see though him and Steph still getting that brotherly sisterliness, where even he'd be like, "Are you doing all right? Woman, your condition shouldn't be stressing yourself out." Oh, are you actually worried? Don't be ridiculous. I'm just okay. And I realize what he said, like, yes, I am concerned.
After all, any dimension of life is an investment in of itself.
Exactly. But how does that sound of her catching, like, are you worried? Don't be ridiculous. I realize he's denying the truth. Like, very well. Yes, I am.
Not to mention, if Drake isn't going to go out of his way to support you, someone has to be by your side.
Right. Even if it is, like, although I give him props still for helping take care of you carrying someone else's child.
Here, eat this.
Mm-hmm.
They're herbs. They'll help you with your skin and help keep your mood regulated.
Like, thanks. I know. But yeah, that happened. Again, by this point, here's one thing, Ivan is not looking to become Robin like Damian was.
Ivan is making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, but can we agree? Because here's the thing, though. Remember, Damian was more worried about, my father's just going to kick me out and send me back. Ivan is not under that fear.
That and Damian was in survivor's mode because, again, Damian and Talia were in universe, essentially. We're still laying low after death of the maidens.
And also, let's not also forget the fact that, as far like the last time we saw them earlier, he had, actually, no, I'm thinking about, during Batman and Son, during all of that, and Talia was still there keeping an eye, basically giving him a ticking clock.
Ivan wouldn't be in that situation. Talia's sending Ivan to get him away from Raish on her own accord.
Which is more, much more terrifying than, what's her sister's name again?
Nessa.
Nessa.
because she was plotting her coup during this time.
Yep, and let's also be honest, again, Talia probably wasn't worried about Nissa. This was, again, as was stated before, this was more her giving him, like, this is your last chance, beloved. Whereas, in this case, she's not at that point yet, so she is more like, please, she actually is concerned for Damian's well-being, not using this as a test. Because that was the big difference. I don't even think the coup had anything to do with it during Batman and Son. Again, it was all just a test.
Yeah, well,
to see if he'll accept everything.
Wait, you're talking about Leviathan? Because Nessa's coup in universe.
Oh no! I'm talking about just Batman and Son.
Okay, you might have been confused with Son of Batman because in the Son of Batman adaptation, did lead a coup.
Oh no! I'm not talking about that. I'm just simply saying the reason why Talia did that there had no other reason than simply because she wanted to test her beloved.
Pretty much, Cameron. Pretty much.
What do you say? I'm not looking at the screen right now.
Oh, so basically, Talia is a good mother, and will remain such until DC makes her evil. Pretty much.
Pretty much, but like I said, Morrison's take was simply, okay, Talia is fed up. She's done with waiting, which again, I wouldn't blame her. The whole would they, won't they?
I wouldn't have gone out of globe-trotting seas and a shadow cult over it, but I understand the characterization.
Well, again, she's the daughter of a terrorist. People have to remember that. She's still the daughter of a terrorist who still believed in what he did.
Well, back to this. So Stephanie's
right.
Spoilers, pregnancy storyline still plays out, and we meet the deadbeat. Damian gives him one chance. We both know you're a deadbeat. We both know you're not going to be there for her. Here's some cash. Sign off your rights and walk away. You can take the money now, or I can break every bone in your body.
For her, he's just like, yeah. Then he's like, that last part catches him by surprise. And sorry about my brother. He's heavily autistic, so he's just getting a little antsy.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yep, he does that.
All right, but what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
Oh no! Oh, sorry. I was saying quickly that I was just going at a little bit of him being like, yeah. But when he hears that last part, he's like, wait.
So you've chosen the hard way.
No. He's freaking out like, no. Dude, he was more freaking out about the hard way. He's like,
No, you don't understand that most of that money is going to go to your medical bills. I just wanted to give you the illusion of a choice.
Mercy. He was like, if it was anyone else, someone else than Miss Brown, I might. But because she is actually a kind-hearted soul, put in a bad situation due to her father, and who her father is, I don't think you deserve it, Mercy. Because here's the thing I think. This is all because of him already getting some of the character growth being with Stephanie, that he has this brotherly protectiveness. If this was earlier on, he wouldn't have cared.
Oh, yeah, because remember, yes, spoiler, ended up giving the baby for adoption, but this was like 95, 96.
Mm-hmm.
So publication-wise, this would be built up over the course of a couple of months.
Yep. And I do think Damian would be all right when she gives it up. It's like, this was one of the more likely outcomes.
Like, hey, some people aren't ready for that level of responsibility.
Exactly. But then she always said, well, that, and I'm having to put up with you. It was more than enough.
Do you regret it?
A little part of me does.
Then that proves you care. You'll be a competent parent when the time comes. Whether it be Drake or someone else. Your regret is proof of that.
Thanks. Now I'm trying to think about what else happened. Obviously, Bruce is back to being Batman. I'm trying to remember the exact orders. You had
mostly Damian and Tim beefing over the course of his Robin series.
Yeah, I think that's where most of a lot of that time, because again, he's not Robin, so he wouldn't be tagging along with it. In fact, I see Damian also hanging out with Harold, tinkering with stuff. Like, impressive.
And was to be the first to suspect that Harold sold out to Hush.
Well, that won't be till much later on, but
yeah, we can go ahead and throw that in there in case we end up.
Oh, and he would also be being good around Ace. There was an Ace back then.
There was.
but that was Harold's dog.
Then one day, Ivan decides to leave the Batcave. Like, he doesn't tell anybody. He doesn't even leave a note. He just leaves the Batcave. Tim doesn't really care because Tim and Damian have already well built their rivalry by this time. But Steph is just panicking.
Oh yeah, it's like, what if he went back to his father?
You mean his mother? Bruce is.
Sorry, that's my mother. That's what I meant. What if he went back to his? Let me correct myself. What if he went back to his mother?
Steph, you're being ridiculous. He's a 10-year-old boy with a chip on his shoulder and a ninja sword. How much trouble could he possibly cause?
She gives him a look. Like, really? With that high of an IQ, with that young of an age?
He's 10. He's not that much of a threat.
Like, he doesn't need to be strong to be a threat. I mean, look at me. Look at what I've done.
First off, Steph, I know a trap when I hear one. Second of all, he's
again. She would definitely keep on feeling like she's the one feeling like, don't underestimate him, Tim.
He's a brat who's only good at a few basic ninja moves and running his mouth.
Oh, here's a question. Where do we think Contagion or Legacy?
Damian would say...
Oh, Legacy! Because remember, Legacy is when Raish makes the move. And that's when he has Bane we have Bane of the Demon.
Ivan would try to fight Bane.
Oh, yeah. But what if in this version of events, Legacy was done in part because of Damian being there?
You have a choice, detective. Return my grandson and heir, or your precious city burns.
And then, of course, Bane is like, I could take care of the child and Bat.
You will do no such thing, Behemoth. My grandchild is paramount.
It's like
break the bat if he gets in your way.
Well, remember though, remember by this point I said Bane was tapped he would take over as the heir. That was the whole point of Legacy. Bane for a brief time was tapped to do it, but of course then it was later revealed. I think either Bane left of his own record or Raish betrayed him because he was just using Bane. I forget which.
Let's just say both, and then as a final test, Bane has to defeat Damian in combat because Bruce
or Ivan.
Excuse me, Ivan in combat. Which Bane, although he is a villain, he's one of the few villains in Gotham with a code of honor.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't actually kill a child. It'll be like, oh yeah,
yes, but Bane would refuse to deal the killing blow.
But he's like maybe when you're a bit older, but not now.
And then this would be the debut of Goliath.
Oh yeah, oh!
You miserable cretin! Have you forgotten, Bane? A true warrior would be prepared for no true warrior battle is played by the rules. A true warrior would be prepared for that eventuality.
Nice.
And then while Ivan contemplates going for the kill. You know what? Like you said, when I'm older. But don't forget, grandfather. I choose here to broaden my horizons. I will not be a dutiful puppet. I will return to the League when you've proven to have bested my father and his cohorts. Shouldn't I be worthy of such an opportunity to prove myself? Well played, boy.
I know. Very well. I look forward to what you become when next we meet.
And remember, Ivan does not become... I'm going to say this now. Ivan does not officially become Robin until 1 year later.
Yeah. He throughout all of this. Now, of course, oh boy, how would he be during Cataclysm? Especially, now, would he know that Bruce left to go to... Because here's the thing. Unlike the others who are willing to leave Gotham, would he go with Bruce? Oh, here's the other thing. Does Bruce reveal to the public he has a son?
Eventually.
I would think this is the point where he would.
By Cataclysm, yes.
All right, but because remember, because that was a big thing about No Man's Land is that Bruce was off the board because he was trying, unfortunately, futilely to convince the government to turn around. But unfortunately, for the government, they could care less about Gotham.
So yeah, No Man's Land still ends up happening. We get Cassandra Cain, and then Ivan does not be condescending or throw shade at Cassandra at all. This is the daughter of Cain and Lady Shiva. She is one of the most deadliest combatants of her generation, if not of any acolyte I've ever come across. I'm not messing with her.
Of course, though, I could so see Damian does not reveal the Shiva connection until later on, and I'm thinking after he hears about her little scuffle and having a fight nearly being killed, but then resurrected, and all that, she would then say, "You know that was your mother, right?" You didn't know? Would have thought it was obvious.
Why are you giving me the finger? I'm telling you what's essentially common knowledge.
Oh, what about during Bruce Wayne Murderer and Bruce Wayne Fugitive?
Ivan would be in the custody of, well, I would have defaulted Alfred here. But Talia decides to make us play, and due to American parenting laws, Ivan would be sent back to Talia during the time being. Because wouldn't this be around the time she becomes interim CEO of LexCorp, or is that in the 2000s?
No, it would be because we already are in the 2000s.
Okay, we're in the 2000s by this point. Okay, this is pre-Hush. Okay.
Yes, it is right around Hush. Okay. No, this had to have been before. No, okay, let's rewind a bit. I realize Hush will be
2002.
Yes. So yeah, Bruce Wayne Murderer happened right after Hush, I believe. Yeah, after Hush.
Yes.
So during Hush, yeah, that would be the point where Damian. Now, I don't think Damian would suggest about Harold until towards the end. Obviously, he's the one who makes that idea. But yeah, I think even he would be thrown off and also be like, "You had a childhood friend, and yet he's never come up once."
I lost touch with Tommy after I left for my training.
Yes, but and I'm not one for reminiscing, unless it's my grandparents.
Did you say
how's that like? Yeah, I'm not one for reminiscing, unless it's my grandparents.
Fair enough.
Like, do you have any pictures of the two of you? I do. Actually points to one on the legend. He'd be like, "How did I miss that?"
Oh, let's see. A bout of privilege, kindred spirits of trauma. The only difference is you were a victim of circumstance and Thomas was a sociopath.
Like, even I know. Exactly. But of course, that'll be after everything. Although, I do think Damian, when he hears about how he was the Joker, would be like, "You hypocrite!" I think he would not take the Joker saying, "Well," I don't think, because it's like
he almost went through with it. Like because Ivan would still be adjusting to the whole not killing thing.
But in that moment, it's like, "You hypocrite!" After it took Gordon to talk you down. Because let's be honest, as Pika himself put it, this was more Jeff Loeb writing "What If I Was Batman?" Because I'm sorry, that made no sense. The way Batman was during that made no sense, especially when Joker said, "I'm innocent." That goes completely against what happened with Devil's Advocate.
As for the whole Batman Catwoman thing, Ivan would probably make a bet. $100 is $100. She breaks up with him by the end.
And then, well, I was joking. I wasn't meaning to be right.
Pay up, Timothy. Stick a little nipple, baby. What? Don't have 100 to spare and all this fortune? Oh, that's right. You're the intern. Robert? Hello? Hello? Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Well, while we're waiting for Robert to come back online, any questions or anything you guys want to say in the chat, just let me know.
Sorry about that. Got a phone call that cut me off.
Oh, okay. All right. We're good. We're good.
And Cameron, is it Iban, Iban, not Ivan.
I believe it's IBN, but I could be wrong.
Ivan, Ibn, whatever.
Okay. And
But what did I miss? Sorry, what did I miss?
I was just saying that how Ivan pretty much just makes a bet with Tim that Selena would break things up.
Oh no, I know. That's what I was going to say. Like, he would then be like, "I wasn't being serious."
Good little snarky little nepo baby. What's wrong, Timothy? You don't have 100 on you under all this fortune and prestige.
I know, but I think even he would then pause and be like, if it means anything to you, I wasn't really serious. I think he would admit he wasn't serious or hoping he was wrong. Like, I was actually hoping to be wrong.
You admitting to wanting to be wrong about something?
She makes I don't spare me. She makes my father happy, that of which I can admit, in ways that even my mother could not.
And besides, people's indulgence are their own business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly, especially considering I spent a life causing misfortune rather than rendering it.
Exactly. Now, then we get to Bruce Wayne and Murderer and Fugitive.
And then that would pretty much play out the same.
Now, War Games. Oh, God. If Stephanie gets killed, Ivan goes on the warpath.
I would say Ivan saves her, but only. Whoa. Yeah, but definitely would call out Leslie Tompkins and pretty much reveal that he's Bruce's son to her. Leslie already knows Bruce is Batman by this point.
Well, yeah. Well, no, she's always known.
Yeah, but by the fact that Leslie would literally try to medically sedate Steph in a fake death to prove a point that to Bruce at
But that was I get it was the only way to bring her back, but it required character assassinating Leslie.
Yeah, but if I could prevent, I was thinking like, hey, you don't have to resort to that. I got her. And although we could just rather than doing all that, we'll just say Stephanie was in a coma.
Yeah, we could do that too. But still, though, I could see him going after Black Mask.
Oh no, Ivan would just go on a tear. Like
now, how would he have reacted to the whole Bruce bringing on Stephanie just to fire her afterwards? I think that's another thing. I think this would start him clashing with his father more, especially because of Steph. He'd be like, did you just bring her in just to tear her down?" No, I think Ivan would look at it that way, don't you think?
To an extent, but he'd be more mad in the fact that you had an opportunity to officially make me Robin, but you ultimately chose Stephanie over me, and you only did it to spite Jake for blackmailing you.
Exactly. And then you pushed her. You pushed her into this. I think he would blame Bruce for that, for pushing Stephanie into what happened with No Man's Land. And not No Man, War Games. She wanted to impress you.
Ivan would have saved Stephanie at least from certain death, but she would end up in a coma and shelved.
No, I know. But I'm saying that the fact that she caused it. Remember, she's the one that caused War Games.
This is probably one of the few times that Ivan directly crashes out at Bruce, and in his anger reveals Jason Todd is alive.
Exactly. It's like, it's bad enough that you felt you truly think that was just Clayface then. At the graveyard. What did you say?
What? You weren't on the field. I had you with Alfred. What do you mean, Clayface? Oh, please. Even with Riddler's enhanced intelligence from the Lazarus Pit, someone actually had to lead him to one without the League of Assassins finding out.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was also the fact that it just simply and you really think Tommy Elliott would have just taken the Riddler at face value? He needed someone to confirm it.
How long? I don't know. How should I know? I was a baby at the time.
I'm just like I've just been hearing. I mean, like I've been hearing through the grapevine. My mother's connections. She knows more than I do.
Jason took a few jobs here and there, but he's pretty much been off the grid since his memories came back. He only commissioned with the League a handful of times.
But but I do know my mother's been still giving him resources.
How long have you known? Only a couple of months.
Like after how you reacted during Hush, I started to think you might have a part of you might have thought it was him. It was only just now that I realized you truly still believed it. It was a fake.
First you, then Jason. Raish wanted to make amends.
Joker actually, no. I was going to go with just the whole my mother. We don't know how he came back, and he was still alive. He just was, but he was brain dead, more reacting on instinct. Word got through to my mother. She brought him, tried to heal him up, try to teach him how to bring him back as a gift to you. But nothing was working, and my grandfather mocked her for it. So she took a risk, pushed him into the Lazarus Pit, and healed him. Why she didn't then bring him back towards you, I still don't know.
Best I can ascertain is that Jason found a way to escape the compound.
Well, no, remember, if you remember, in that story, in Under the Red Hood, they broke out and she pushed him into the water.
Yeah, right. But
so I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah. Ivan doesn't know. Right. I get what you're saying.
Bruce would consider following Talia's old lead. Since, Talia would still be interim CEO of LexCorp during this time, so he could easily confront her.
Yep. And then like, are we doing this again, beloved? Like, Jason.
What about him?
You've known. Ivan let it slip, didn't he?
It was a year ago. All of a sudden, there was a rift.
And no, they don't know about the rift part. They just simply know that he was just there.
He stumbled, or what was left of him, stumbled upon one of our safe houses. I escorted him to Nardar Parbat personally and restored his mind. I took the gamble you would have done if I hadn't talked you out of it.
And from what Ivan has told me, you've been funneling him as he's been doing his own thing. He wanted to have a confrontation with you. Bet you didn't know this. There was one point where he was ready to blow up the Batmobile, and you would have been unaware. The explosive I found months ago, that was him.
The only reason he didn't go through with it was because Ivan was with you.
Like,
he helped me raise that boy. Helped me smuggle Ivan out of the compound while Raish was on the retreat. I owed Jason that. For all his faults, he protected his brother.
Like, where is he now? I've lost track of him since the incident with Hush.
He's gone underground, but I know he'll But if you trained him, I know he'll resurface sooner rather than later.
Like, best to keep an eye on the clown if I were you. Oh, I can tell you this. He goes by Red Hood now.
This does devalue the original Under the Hood story because if you were keeping up.
But it would happen, though.
Yeah, this would be better setup for it. But for new readers coming in, you probably get a bit of a mystery out of it.
True.
But if you were keeping up with comics and our rewrite during this time, yeah, it's Jason. Because they've been setting this up for 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Cameron's asking, did Stephanie agree to it? Did she? Or was it a case where I think it was a case where she felt disgraced with what she did.
That I think more so becoming Robin, because this was when Tim's supposed 2 time, when really it's just the whole Peter Parker double life thing.
Oh,
Another
I'm more talking about how I think they're asking about Stephanie agreeing with Leslie's plan.
okay,
I
okay,
think she felt disgraced for causing the war games.
and she just wanted to get away from it all.
Exactly. I think that's what happened.
I can see that he goes by Red Hood. Okay, yeah, that could be like an end. Oh, thank you for confirming that, Cameron. But all right. So where are we now? I think there's one more event before Resurrection of no Death of the
Well, it
Maiden.
doesn't the maidens. Yeah, that would have happened. Oh boy, how would he? Here's something else. What if Damian only just heard rumors of Nissa but never knew she actually existed?
Damian would literally leave.
Or Ivan. I mean Ivan.
Yeah. Ivan would literally go down. I forget his associate's name, the one who was raising Goliath at that island.
Right.
I forget Adhere, something like that. I forget his name. But Damian would. God, I'm so used to it. Ivan would meet up with Adhere, mount Goliath, and just raid every League of Assassins compound. He and Goliath would literally be like Daenerys Targaryen in the latter half of Game of Thrones. Like, it would just be a slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan would not care.
Now, here's something else. I'm thinking, we guys think about this. We need to try and push to even Damian for losing it with Bruce after. That's why I think the War Games, even he would get fed up with how things turned out.
The 90s would not be kind to Ivan.
Well, no, this is 2000. We're in the 2000s now.
Okay, 2000, excuse me.
No, we're building up the Infinite Crisis. We need to have Bruce pushed to his worst. Now, I would say this. I could see at first Damian Ivan being in favor of the contingency plans back during Justice League.
Leading up the Tower of Babel. Yeah, Ivan would be on board.
Yeah. But, but yeah, we have Death of the Maidens. That would happen. But here's something else, though. How would Ivan react to Identity Crisis?
Ooh.
Especially after what happened to Jake. Or Jack, whichever.
Jack. Ivan, Identity Crisis, like, yeah, Ivan would just downplay the whole thing as just a nasty lover's quarrel. I mean, even with the brainwashing, I mean, again, hindering Dr. Light as a threat. Ivan was desensitized to a lot of things with the League of Assassins. To him, the whole thing would feel like a Tuesday.
Yeah, but Tim losing his father, much as he hates and he argues with Tim, it would still be like...
He protected his home. He died.
Mm-hmm.
He died a warrior, Drake. At least take heed in that.
Right. Although Tim would so snap at him. That's easy for you to say, you heartless.
Go on. Say it, Drake. Give me an excuse.
No. You give me an excuse.
Fine. Calcitrant. Emotional. Self-indulgent. Always trying to have his cake and eating it too, and biting him only.
I think finding Damian and Tim would punch him like... But then afterwards, it will be revealing
that was
he needed no. I'm thinking after Tim leaves, it's revealed Ivan did that intentionally because he knew Tim was bottling it up. Like, if he wants something to hate, I'm the best target. Because I'm thinking back to during Spider-Man the Other, when Peter was dead very briefly. You had Wolverine actually offer to go on a date with MJ, to which MJ hits him, and then when his dad's like, dude, what the hell? He then says, she's in pain, and anger is the best way to power through. So if it means giving her something to hit, if it means giving an enemy, she can get in line. So I think Ivan will be similar. If it means helping Tim get over this, I'll be the punching bag for something for him to hate.
Not to mention, we already hate each other as it is.
Well, that too.
You know, Damie, you don't have to be so analytical about everything. My name's Ivan. No, your birth name is Ivan. After Bruce took you in and officially legitimized you, you're legally Damian.
Oh, I do like that.
You're patronizing me, aren't you, Grayson? What? Me? No.
Okay, but then of course, as when Damien, if he, whichever finds out about Brother I, that's when he would lose. He'd be disgusted at his father, like, what? The contingency plans were one thing. He would agree. Would you agree? He would say the contingency plans are one thing, but
this is just full-blown Skynet at this point. So many factors could go wrong with this, especially if somebody hacked into it.
which apparently they did.
Bad enough you lost the contingency plans to my grandfather. At least that was a tactical scenario. That was an unavoidable scenario. That's arguable. But
you don't even know who gave access to Lord access to it.
We end up finding out it was Maxwell Lord, and he did have Justice League level connections for years.
But we also then we further find out it was Alexander Luthor who gave him its sentience. You do know that, right? It was Luthor who gave it sentience.
Okay, yeah, it was Luthor. Okay.
But it was Max who took control and manipulated. But still, though, it's like, Father, I can't believe you brought it this far.
And then when Booster Gold literally tries to fire a photon blast at Bruce, Ivan deflects it with a sword.
Oh, yeah.
You want to start something hot shot? Try me.
Right. But obviously then, Infinite Crisis goes on. Same with, when Jason finally does make his big return, how would Damian react? And I'll just stick to Damian now. Like, how would Damian react?
But under the Red Hood, I mean, Damian would be more worried about, the destruction of Bloodhaven and worried about Grayson.
Well, that's at the very end. I'm talking about leading up to that point.
With the gang war and everything going on, again, Damian wouldn't be officially Robin at this time. So, because Judd Witter's run did get derailed by Infinite Crisis, so that's hard to say.
Well, I wouldn't say it got derailed per se, because he was still able to tell the story he wanted. It just, when you compare it to what was going on in Infinite Crisis, it throws like, wait, but if Joker was apprehended by this point, and we know he was, how did he have his cameo with the Royal Flush Gang?
The only way you can make that work is if Joker teamed up with the Royal Flush Gang shortly afterward.
But it can't work, because remember, that cameo was in issue 1, and Chemo being dropped, which was the end of Under the Red Hood, wasn't until issue 3. So Joker should still be under Jason's control, capture. I mean, at least when you had the whole Dr. Light absorbing the female Yukimio Hoshi's Dr. Light, her powers, and then leading to Star City getting blasted, they at least said that happened after, they moved it to after Infinite Crisis.
Yep.
Which explains why she had her powers during Infinite Crisis.
Oh, excuse me. But back to Under the Red Hood. Yep. Ivan would say like, hey,
I told you.
I told you, but even if you did, if you go through with this, it won't. Father won't do it. He won't go that far, not even for you.
All right, we'll see about that. I see that there's still lingering effects of the Lazarus insanity in you.
Don't tie this to the Lazarus boy.
All right. Why not?
You're going off the deep end. You started a gang war. You're probably responsible for what? A dozen lives in the grave already from collateral damage alone.
It's like, they were all scums and murderers. None of them were innocent.
Neither are we.
Like,
you're acting like a child, and that's coming from me.
Like you're giving, like, your manipulation of Black Mask is commendable. I will give you that. And you've brought him down his empire fast. Because he did, remember?
But mindless bloodshed does not equal control.
Oh, here's what I just realized. How would he react to Selena killing Black Mask?
Okay, one less villain to worry about. Who wants pizza?
Although I think that he would also feel when during the 1 year. Oh no. Oh yeah. During the whole missing year before the end of 1 year later, find out she's pregnant with Sam Bradley's kid. It'd just be like, please tell me. Of course, remember he died that same night she found out.
Please tell me it's Sam's.
Like it is. Of course, and I still loved during that 1 year later after she gave birth. Batman's meeting up with her, and you see him revealing he had a teddy bear under his cloak and under his cowl, and she's like, "Oh, if only Two-Face and Penguin could see you now." And he also revealed that Helena, that's the daughter's name, was going to get the best of everything. Best school, best health care, a trust fund, everything, just because they're such good friends. But of course, then at the end of the arc, Selena ended up putting up the kid up for adoption because it was just too dangerous of a life.
Honestly, if I had to go, if I had to go through two obnoxious, insecure broads through pregnancy, honestly, I had to be a doctor at this point.
Well, he wasn't there for Selena's. Probably just popping in to check on her.
Stephanie's he was, but
yeah, Selena, no.
He wouldn't have been as involved, but
yeah. Still, though, obviously, Ivan after Infinite Crisis, and even then, seeing him lose both his father and his best friend, I do think even Ivan would be like, Tim's losing it. He's starting to become too much like my father.
I warned you what would happen. Calcitrant, thinking everything's going to be okay. The League and the Bat are two sides of the same coin. The only difference is their ideals. You cannot afford to be indulgent in this life. You cannot afford to be crass, even with powers. Connor was compromised because he was a sentimental idiot who held back.
Yes, he stopped one of the more a psychopathic man baby with the power of a god. Yes.
But he held back. Sometimes the situation the weak die and the strong survive. It's a fundamental truth.
Now, how do we handle the whole, if we're going to have Damian become Robin, then what? Do we have Tim becomes Red Robin?
Not yet. Tim is spiraling and pretty much leaves the hero life for a time.
But he would still be with the Titans. We got to keep that.
He still coordinates with the Titans, but he's not going to be on the field. He's unraveling after what happened with Connor.
And let me guess, still trying that secret, trying to reclone him.
And I'm like, this is just sad. And your little trauma bond, fearless leader, isn't helping the situation either.
Like, how did you were in the Bat Cave when you made your own little cave, utilizing systems with Father's technology. I could just hack into it just as easily.
A bird's nest has better security.
I know. Like, I saw that kiss. How would your best friend react if he found out if he came back now?
You already have the technology. A little splice, a few programmed memories, and you'd have a rogue Kryptonian on a warpath.
I know, it's like, but you haven't cracked the code, have you? You're smart, but you're not that smart. You're not 0.5% smart.
And all you know how to do is run your mouth. You're spiraling. You need to learn when to walk away.
You know what you're going to become? You're going to become like that evil and that version of you that became Batman, but was wielding a gun you told me I heard about.
And didn't you go as far as putting one to your own head in an attempt to avoiding that future? Where is that conviction now? When all you're doing is acting like a slobbering mess.
Of course, I can so imagine when that happened, that's when he gets knocked out by that future Batman, because that would be that future Titan of tomorrow today. Like, God, I hated hearing that voice. and because that would fit that into that event.
What's wrong? What's wrong, dark and try hard? Miss me? You have
Again, that event and that bit, I gotta say, I did like McKeever's run for the most part,
it was good.
especially after Jeff. You know why Jeff left, right? Because they snatched Tony Daniel away from him.
Yeah, that is true.
So they've snatched him away so he can work. They can work, do those issues of Flash, the fastest man alive, and then he wanted to do his own book. So Jeff knew he wasn't coming back, so he's like, "I'm done." Tony was the one thing keeping me around.
Yeah, and he didn't they have a few guest writers for the remainder of that run?
No. First they had they originally were going to give it to Adam Beechin. It fell through, and then they gave it to McKeever, and then eventually they went to Felicia Henderson, who nearly drove into the ground, and then JT Kroll took over for the last couple arcs. Oh, I just realized, how would Ivan react to Cassandra going crazy?
A part of me wants to avoid that because Ivan would just be seeing through all the bullshit. Like Cassandra's being mind controlled by Deathstroke. Ivan would just see through it. Okay, all right, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
Yep. Especially that bit of him briefly taking over a portion of the league.
But you made one fatal mistake. You tried to you used a pawn to claim what was mine.
Yep.
And I would not let that stand. And Ivan and Goliath would just go on a tear. Deathstroke, I'm not saying Deathstroke doesn't, he escapes the conflict, but Goliath maims him.
Well, remember though, they didn't know it was Deathstroke until Titans East.
Ivan would eventually figure it out. Ivan was suspected, but the only reason he doesn't go after Deathstroke is because Cassandra's coming out of the mind control. And
but not fully yet. It wouldn't be until Titans East where she's fully out.
Yeah.
Exactly. But now his time as Batman would be as Robin. I do think he definitely is. I'd say he's. What kind of Robin would he be compared to how he normally is? Because he's older now. He's much older now.
Yeah, by this point he's about 13, similar to where he is now in Joshua Williamson's run. He's every bit 13 to 14 years old.
Oh, by the way, because we're boosting stuff around, I think one of the first arcs we deal with is actually him meeting up with Flatline. We bring her in much earlier.
Okay, do we do the whole Lazarus tournament or this?
No. I'm thinking it's something different. I'm thinking there's something that deals with Lord Deathman first.
Okay, what reason would Damian be in Japan?
Well, no, Lord Deathman came to the States, I'm thinking, and brought her along.
All right.
I'm just throwing that out there. And the other option would be, what was her name? The other girl from Batman, from the Robin, Son of the Demon. Or Son of Batman book.
Maya Dakar, but that's more of a brother-sister type thing. Or at least
True. But I still wouldn't mind trying to fit them in during his 1 year later stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, with the Surrender with Darga, maybe even throw Colin Wilkes in there. All that during his 1 year gap, and then he officially becomes Robin by the end.
Exactly, and that's when deals with Cassandra.
Would Damian get a Mara Al Ghul doesn't debut until the New 52.
Right.
Yeah,
wait, Mara. Wait. Who?
Damian's cousin in Rebirth.
Oh, right. No, you're right.
Yeah, Mara Al Ghul. Yeah, Mara Al Ghul, and I think she's not Nessa's daughter. She's Talia's brother's daughter.
Yeah, keep forgetting that she has a brother.
Yeah, who ended up becoming the new vessel for Raish and returned.
Oh yeah, the White Ghost.
Yeah, White Ghost.
Yep. But yeah, she'd still be out there, even though that's still the vessel.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just saying we fit Flatline in, and oh boy, Tim would Stephanie would so right into like, Damian's got a girlfriend.
If I wanted to snag a harlot, I could just go on Albuquerque for a night and give her $200.
No, but you found someone you connect with.
Again, that's what the money's for. What do you think I am, O.J. Simpson?
Oh, dude! They wouldn't do that.
Come on. That is something Ivan would say. Like, come on.
You're right. Ivan would. Not Damian, but Ivan would.
Oh, Ivan would definitely say that.
But yeah, so oh wait, I just realized if Stephanie's alive and much earlier, oh boy, even she I think would have a hard time. She would be talking to Ivan about like it's so hard dealing with Tim.
You chose to stay with him.
I know. And like I think they like you are about where what he and Cassie did, right? What?
I mean,
Oh boy, she would snap at him like, please tell me this was a one-time thing to Tim.
Tim, Drake, I put up with a lot of your crap over the years. But if you fumble Steph, first of all, both Barbara will literally invent a chip to fix her spine to beat the crap out of you. And if you barely survive that, Cassandra would just finish you off. Me, I'll just be eating some. I'll be eating some popcorn during the show. I don't care what happens to you. But because you're supposed to have all this intellect and you still keep doing this stupid stuff. Will I find it entertaining? Absolutely. Am I going to help you? Hell no.
No, you brought it on yourself.
Okay, look, it was a few. Look, we never did anything. We were just.
It was just a kiss.
And why let it go? And why be so withdrawn about it? I mean, especially considering you've had a man crush on Connor for years. You were literally. What do you mean,
Tim? Tim, this obsession of yours of bringing him back, it goes beyond wanting your best friend back.
Not to mention, when it comes to that subject matter, you're terrible at hiding it, and let's just leave it at that.
All right, why don't you just admit you like both and just be done with it? I'm just saying that, calling it out, just say you like both and just move on. No one's going to come and fault you for it.
Wait, did I just get ousted? You were never ousted if you never came to terms with it in the first place.
Like, next year, if I don't say something, you'll probably regress and go to the first person that shows interest, like that Bernard boy. Like Bernard doesn't see that way. He thought my stepmom was never mind.
Actually, I've seen you hang out with Bernard. Bernard's a complete tryhard.
Yeah, doing a little catch up, but I was never against the whole Tim being bi. I was never against it because the clues were there.
Especially if you take graduation day both in and
yeah.
Out. Like at that point in time, editorial wouldn't have let them go through with it, but the setup was there. If you
especially them in the closet. But anyway, okay, we're messing around. We're just messing around with things.
Yeah, we're just messing around. Okay. For all intents and purposes, okay, Damian does interact with everyone for a brief team up by the time Tim becomes Red Robin. So Final Crisis and
Battle for the Cowl.
That would play out pretty much the same way. The only difference is,
well, Damian didn't take the Batmobile out for a joyride. Seriously, that was so not in character for him.
That was tacked on.
That felt like, wait, did Tony Kennedy not know how to write Damian?
I think they did that for a gag because they needed an opening scene.
Yeah, but still, and that poor girl got chomped.
Wait, I thought they saved her.
No, she got eaten by Croc. Remember, he ejected him, and the next thing we know, we see her shoe.
Oh.
Yeah, Croc snacked on her.
Not like that. Get your heads out of the gutter, people.
But he chomped her.
Seriously, my young mind. I've only read Battle of the Cowl like when it came out. I have not reread it since, and I completely blocked that out from my young mind. Like, God.
Yeah, and again, the fact that Damian was trying to impress a girl by stealing the Batmobile. What?
First off, Jason did it first. 2, it's in poor taste.
And 3, again, he wasn't interested in girls yet. He wasn't.
I've been at 13. He wouldn't pull a stunt like that, but
I could see him trying to show off the flatline at least.
Yeah, but he wouldn't pull a stunt like that.
Yeah, well, for flatline, I think he might with the Batmobile.
First of all, you're obviously in town. Second of all, I need contingencies in place.
And also the proof I to make the show to my father that his security needs an upgrade. And you just wanted to be rebellious.
I have no idea what you mean.
You're 13. You're at that age, Damien.
Like I told you when I was 8, we live, we court, we bleed, we die. It's a pretty simple concept.
She would, of course, find that kind of a turn on, I think, hearing that.
Like Ivan would just be. Ivan's not the type of person to get flustered. He's very cordial. He tries his best to be composed.
But this is Flatline we're talking about. Which I gotta say, I love her. I love Flatline and Damien. That is such a great couple. And I still loved when Bruce first meet her and everything, and it's just like, what's going on?
I'll let you have that. Better than that whole mess with the Adam Glass run, at least. So I'll let you have that.
Mm-hmm. But of course, though, would Damien try to wear the cowl?
I don't think so. I don't see a Batman 666 type situation. At least not this early on.
No, but I do think. Here's something I think. I think he would only put on the cowl to mess with Jason,
or to troll Tim.
Or the troll Tim until Tim nearly gets killed.
And I'm like, okay, this isn't funny anymore. He obviously needs medical attention. Jason shanked him with a batarang.
Exactly. And then of course he would also be like, okay, Grayson, my father was wrong. A Batman is needed. And the only one who can do it, who can handle it, who's old enough and can pull it off is you.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. This is not the time for you to still act for that boy who got fired over growing pains.
Like unless you want Jason to be the Batman and who shoots.
And knowing Jason, he's just gonna go on a killing spree.
You're right. I mean, of course I am. You couldn't help yourself, could you?
What you thought this was comedy hour?
But of course he does it. And then, they stop it. He then continues on. We do have a bit, I would say this, Batman and Robin would then play out very similarly, but of course Damien is is older, so.
And then I will indulge you, Robert, and give them a Flatline team up. And I'm just like, so you drop it, but drop it. We worked a case together. Things happened. What happens in Japan stays in Japan. Besides, she's Russian.
Is that joke?
What? Flatline is canonically Russian.
You get it? Like she's rushing into things.
Wait, I've been told a joke.
I guess I've been around you too long.
No. Don't be like me. Grayson, you went through 2 separate personas. You bagged an alien warrior princess, and even then, you found a way to screw that up.
And you while being completely oblivious to the redhead that clearly wanted you.
And then, even when you tried to salvage your relationship with said alien warrior princess, instead of having a normal bachelor party, you had pity relations with the other redhead.
Exactly. And then before giving her the invitation to your wedding.
Okay, first of all, I'm not having this conversation with you. Second of all, I was trying to give Barbara closure, and you got caught in your pants like a chump.
Again, I like that annual. I did like that annual.
Ivan would just be roasting for days. I did not expect this to be this fun.
Yep, but here's the thing, though. How would Ivan react to his mother basically getting more and more unhinged?
Ivan would contemplate the idea of taking Leviathan off the board, especially since he literally has a literal super weapon in Goliath.
True, but I think the other thing is, I think even there's a point where even they would say, Dick would say, why is she doing this? This isn't like her. To which Ivan would say, really? the daughter of one of the greatest terrorists in the universe, whose only time she's ever shown any bit of being good was when my father was involved, gave him an ultimatum to finally make a decision. He spurned her, and now she has nothing else to lose.
You could not have seen this coming. After
Yeah.
living with me in the picture over the course of what, 14, maybe 15 years?
Yeah, come on. How is it that, for Ivan putting it that way? Because again, that's pretty much what Grant was saying. So it's like, yeah, he's spelling it out. She's
Grayson,
still a terrorist.
And Grayson, I know you're the biggest man whore in the hero community, second to John Constantine. But have you ever heard of the phrase "Hell have no fury like a woman scorned"?
Like, and my mother has been putting up with my father's going back and forth for a long time, and I personally think him finally admitting his feelings for Miss Kyle pushed her over the edge.
Okay, when you put it like that, this feels like a foregone conclusion.
Yeah,
Foregone. This is the typical baby mama scenario, and I'm not even American.
But you know what? To be honest, the timing would fit up, wouldn't you say? Heart of Hush. Heart of Hush would fit up.
It does set it up. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So, and I could see the feel that was part of what led to Talia finally giving Bruce the ultimatum. And because she feels like you're either going to choose me and join us, or I'm just done with you.
All right. Not too many series were going on during 2008, 2000. Batman Reborn took up most of our weight in 09.
Yeah, and now here's something else. How would Ivan react to his cousin twice removed was Kate?
Wait, Respawn?
No, I meant Kate, Batwoman.
Ivan would be relatively indifferent.
True. I do think though they would meet up at one point and be like, "So you're finally getting up and finally is everyone in my father's lineage having to put on a cowl?"
I'll admit I was, let me guess, inspired.
Like, I would have done my own thing, to be fair. Like, what pushed you on to doing it? I know that Kate would be like, "Don't ask, don't tell." Really?
You were inspired because you were forced to choose between your duty and regulations over a self-indulgent fling.
Like, no, I was kicked out due to a fling because the one I was with decided to screw me. And I mean that metaphorically.
I mean, both are true, but you can say it however you want.
Which, to be fair, dude, that is like, your father has encouraged this, hasn't he?
I have no idea what you mean.
I'm aware of who your father and my father's my great uncle is.
Yes, your great uncle is Thomas Wayne, but I don't see how that has to do.
Okay, no, it's her great uncle. I'm talking about Kate's father.
Oh,
remember, that's on his mother's side. That's his mother's brother. Remember?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I remember which I gotta say, that's one thing I liked about Gotham. What was it again? The game.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. They took Tynion's detective run with it when it came to Kate's father.
Yeah, not David. What was his first name?
I don't remember, but I like that though, where it was revealed. And when you really think about it, Tinion was taking something that was always there. Her father wanted to militarize Batman.
True.
I like that. And I could so see that even Ivan would eventually be like, "I'd keep an eye on your father if I were you."
Let's just say those who are no longer in command of something look for new ways to commandeer command.
Exactly. Of course, that won't be for a long time, obviously.
Jacob Kane. Thank you, Cameron.
Jacob Kane, yes. It won't be for a long time, but he's still at least setting that up.
Like I said, Red Robin would go about relatively the same. The only difference is Tim isn't as salty amidst his
Although,
rebrand.
now, how would Ivan react to him having for Tim having a contingency plan against him? Would he take it as personal as
I'm
younger
surprised
Damien?
I'm surprised you didn't implement it sooner, considering I had you dead to rights for almost a decade.
I know, but of course, but I think though, so yeah, he'd be more willing to roll with it rather than take it personal like his younger self, right?
Yeah, by this point, Ivan's already in his teens. Like, okay, yeah, I might have been a bit crass when we first met. So, okay, but at least this is an actually decent plan, not just an enemy list.
Although I think he would also poke fun about especially with the stuff with what's her name,
Tiffany,
Tiffany, like, wow, and I thought Grayson was the man whore. And like it was like she panicked.
it's we're close friends. It's business relations and some paparazzi sleeve.
No. You mean Miss Vale?
Oh, are we still on Tiffany Fox or Miss Vale?
No. Vicky was the one who was the person who wrote the story. Remember?
Oh, right. Funny, ironic how one of Father's old flames is the one who exposed you.
Like, if you ask me, she's starting to figure it out because she did. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you ask me, she's finally on the verge of figuring it out, and I give her credit.
And what's going on with you and Tiffany anyway? It's not like that. Tell that to Steph.
I know. And then, of course, by the way, being Batgirl suits her.
What's that supposed to mean? Oh, save it. Oh, save it. In turn, I'm not into blondes.
By the way, of course, when you get to that later arc, Phoebe and Niciaza's run, then it'd be like, okay, is every girl you know trying to take your V card? Because that was something that Fabian was going for. Because if you notice, he kept giving up with all these other ladies, which under Marcus' Toes artwork, they were hot.
At least Connor Hawk learned the art of restraint.
I was like, I haven't made a move on any of them.
Yes, because they're after your money, obviously. It's surely not your good looks. If it was Grayson, it'd be a completely different conversation. Okay, now you're just going out of your way to be mean. And,
well, who was Lynx? I like Lynx. I wish they'd bring her back.
Lynx only made a handful of appearances.
I know, but I liked her during the Red Robin run. How she was pretty much his Catwoman.
And I'm like, yeah, she was fun. She was fun.
Yep. And then
And Cameron says,
yeah.
I need Ivan to interact with the boxes. Lucius would just see Ivan as a mini Bruce.
Oh, he would. Oh, I just realized that. But then, of course, now obviously we're leading up towards the end of the original post-crisis. Obviously, we're going to treat it like New 52. We're going to treat the timeline as it is currently. New 52 remerged in with post-crisis.
A lot of Batman carries over into New 52 anyway. Batman.
Yeah, because I'm positive Scott Snyder's work was written as meant to be in post-crisis. Because given how Capullo's speed, there's no way he did this exclusively for New 52.
They rebranded it for New 52, but
reworked one of the characters who was supposed to be Cassandra into being Harper. Because that was supposed to be Cassandra in the red dress.
Yes, but
yeah, how would Ivan react to the court?
Ivan in the Court of Owls. Well, the Court of Owls would be Bruce. Wasn't it supposed to be in Bruce? Okay. Outside the tie-ins, Ivan didn't really play much of a role in Court of Owls.
I mean, Damian didn't. You're right. No, except for the tie-in dealing with that. That's true. Oh, but wait. We didn't realize, of course, the return of Bruce Wayne and dealing with what's his name? Dr. Hurt.
That would go relatively the same, except Ivan and Nightwing would have a much stronger dynamic.
You mean Ivan and Dick as Batman?
Yes.
Yeah. So that would play out a lot the same. But as they're building up, that's then where we have the point about Talia.
and Batman Incorporated and Leviathan, so that would just carry over.
Yep. But would we still have him get killed?
Ultimately, because this would still be around, editorial would still want to have a, oh, Jason Todd wasn't a fluke. We can actually have an engaging
Well,
Robin.
that but it was more done because they wanted to make Morrison happy.
True.
But yeah, that happened. He eventually does come back with superpowers, although I think he'd be more humbled about them.
Yeah, and to be
Oh,
fair, I
I
would
just
put much better
sorry.
fight with Heretic.
Yep. Oh wait, I just thought about something. What if when he was resurrected for a brief, do as a side effect besides the superpowers? Hear me out. He is de-aged a little bit.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
But you know why I'm doing this?
Because of New 52?
You know, because of John.
Oh, you're trying to set up Super Sons. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, first of all, I was already halfway through. And what? I'm now, because of cosmic cockamamie, I'm now 10 again?
It's like, well, of course, he'll soon realize, okay, I'm actually aging faster. So I'll probably get through this before 3 more years.
And then Stephanie would just, I am not a teddy bear. Unhand me, you vixen.
And now and even Flatline was like, eh, you're still you.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Like, well, there's a few jokes I can't make anymore because they'll be creepy.
Can't be worse than Deathstroke and Terra creepy.
It's like, do I want to know?
I mean, it's pretty common knowledge in the villain space, unless you count the green puppy love extraordinaire over there.
But yeah, but of course, obviously though, then we do have a bit of time with him with John, and I do think, yeah, with John, he'd be like, this kid is, you know when now John was born now, right, in the new history.
Yes, with Convergent.
Yeah, well, no. In the new history, it is now stated that John was born during 1 year later.
Okay, so yeah, there's a 13-year age gap, but Damien gets de-aged. Okay,
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, I'm like 13. I went through some cosmic stuff with the new gods after falling in battle. Like chronologically, I'm over a decade older than you. If
all
anything,
right.
I'm practically your babysitter.
I'm like, oh, that's still kind of cool.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I suppose. I
I
mean,
know, and the two will still become good friends. But then when John does the whole aging up, it's when it finally his age gets up like, whoop, finally.
oh, shut up. You weren't the one stuck in a kid's body for a decade.
Of course, though, when he hears what John went through, he would then be like, oh man.
Okay, now you're just making me feel bad.
But yeah, because I'll be honest, yes, we're kind of breathing through stuff, but to be honest, this is where we'd have to be coming up with more original ideas to fit in.
Yeah, because like we said, a lot of the major changes would be if Damien was canonized essentially in the 90s with Ivan Xuffash.
Yeah,
Outside
but
of those early renditions in his role and playing a supporting role in those storylines, a lot of anything physically Damien does isn't until at least 2009.
exactly,
Maybe 2006 if you count early setup with the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul and setting up Infinite Crisis. But,
exactly,
but even that, but 1 year later contributed most of that.
exactly. So this is why then we could have all of this play. You know, like by the time we could hear, obviously we got to rework some things, obviously.
Yeah, because some storylines were not well received. Like, I mean, well, to be fair, oh god, I just realized something with the New 52.
What?
Oh god, wait, are we still keeping 10 with the Teen Titans and New 52?
Yeah. Oh.
I just thought of that. I just
Okay, I would say it's reworked a little bit. One, I would go with Tim is still Red Robin when he wears that, even with that suit.
I'm more of a fan of the Kingdom Cowl suit, but the Falcon
But no,
suit.
no, I know, but I'm just trying to go if we keep the designs.
Okay.
I do think though, Damian would be like, he's like he acts like we don't even he's not even connected to this family anymore.
And I'm like, this is weird. Like everyone's younger. Everyone's just more
Well,
brooding.
but like I said, though, eventually, and once they soon realize, like, okay, so we were in a different timeline, it got remerged, and our memories are crossed. Okay, makes sense. He would just roll with it. I think Damon would just roll with it.
That's at a certain point.
Well, especially after what happened in Infinite Crisis, he'd be like, "We've been through worse."
Yeah.
But but
Like and then Convergent. Well, the
well, Ivan wasn't involved in Convergence, so that doesn't matter.
yeah, Patrick. Well, didn't they do a Batman and Robin one with evil Jason Todd? Didn't they?
Oh, that's true. You're right. They did do that, but that was a plucked out from the different history. Robin and Batman and Robin.
Okay.
That wasn't in canon.
Okay, but okay, and then
Patrick wait, I just realized. How would Jason? I just realized we got to rewind a bit. When Jason was Red Hood again, but the Morrison version, how would Damian have reacted?
Ivan.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that because that's the whole purpose of this video.
Yep.
Ivan would actually support Jason's rehabilitation. Like, hey, he's making an effort.
Oh no, I'm talking about during the Morrison stuff.
Okay, Ivan would be annoyed, but if Jason's going for the motions and willing to fight, they'll do what they have to.
Mm-hmm.
After getting nearly crippled, after getting handicapped by Flamingo, is where Ivan would start to change his perspective a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he would be more so annoyed with Jason prior to that.
Yep. Okay, I didn't want to check that out. But yeah, once he starts doing what's more Red Hood and the Outlawed, he would then be like, "You're finally coming around." This is the Jason I remember.
And I just realized Ivan and Steph would have a completely different dynamic in her Batgirl run.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they would have more of a. Well, what would you think they would have?
Definitely a kind of a weird vibe because they definitely wanted to make Stephanie separate from Tim during that run.
True. Then, okay, I can see Damian trying to keep the bridge.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe he goes out of his way to go civilian and meet up with her, but Stephanie doesn't recognize Ivan with his growth spurt.
Yep.
Steph, please stop. It's me.
Like, wait, Ivan?
Yes, it's me. And you literally, and if I hadn't said anything, you probably would have shoved your tongue down my throat. Okay, yeah, now you know how I feel.
Like, I'm just imagining doing that, like, yeah, that kind of a shaking.
Oh, don't flatter yourself. I'm not into blondes.
It's like, wow, look at you.
I mean, I'll admit I keep a decent training routine. I patrol with little to no sleep schedule, but I get good training in.
I know, of course. Oh, I was right. How would Ivan react to Babs taking back over as Batgirl?
He would be annoyed, but if Steph walked away from the mantle on her own, then that's between.
What would it be explanation we could give? Because there never was one, obviously.
Because of the New 52. If we had to force an explanation, maybe because with the experimental chip working, Barbara feel like she can coordinate more, do the Oracle stuff remotely while still doing more in the field.
Oh, how about this? The Black Mercy dream that Stephanie had, kind of, even though she loved it, kind of threw her for the loop and realized, I need to rethink my life a little bit more.
Yeah.
How's that for an explanation? She's like, I'm going to take some time off. You want to be Batgirl again, Babs? Go right ahead.
And yeah, because that's right. The Batgirl run didn't get a proper ending. It
ended on a happy note, yes. With showing the Black Mercy, showing us a possible future, which were clearly, these are stories that Brian Q. Miller wanted to tell but never got to. ending with her showing her in the future having a son who's clearly meant to be her and Tim's son.
And I could just okay, and then maybe they team up a couple of times, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
you sure you still want to keep doing this? I mean, the whole double life aspect. This is the same stuff you gave Tim hell for. I mean, I was a dumb kid. I mean, I was a kid then. I didn't give, and I still don't give a damn. You know, you pretend to be cold hearted, but you can't deny the fact that you actually do have a heart. I'm your servant. It's called subterfuge. I have to give the illusion of having a heart.
You love the little snap, don't you, dude?
Huh?
You you love Damien as a snot, don't you?
Not really. I'm really more of a Tim fan.
No, I said you love him when he's being a snot.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining.
I'm just messing with you because you just love to do the snark.
What could I say? I practice my voice. I practice my acting whenever I can.
Hey, so do I. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I just want to do like a Gorilla Grodd thing so I can show off my Grodd voice.
Go ahead, man. I mean, we're not doing anything right now. So go on ahead.
All right. Like, well then, I am Gorilla Grodd, and who do you think you are, boy?
For one, Homo sapien.
Do you truly think you can deal with the likes of me?
Let's see. If I had a whole stash of bananas, I'd at least be able to buy a good 5 minutes.
It's like, all right, you don't think you underestimate me.
No, you're simply a monkey.
Of course, we all know that Grodd would not fall for that.
I cannot underestimate what is essentially primitive.
I grabbed him like, I'll show you, primitive!
You are a monkey. I have a Goliath. Who do you think?
Right. What's up? Ah! He was doing, what's up? Ah!
Easy, old friend. He's not food.
He's like, ah! Well, you know what? Something that Paul Cornell did in his Action Comics run that still cracks me up. Apparently, Grodd has a combat spoon.
A combat spoon.
You know that, dude? I'm not kidding, dude. Did you know about that?
I did. I just remembered it right now when you mentioned it.
I got my biggest. Now, granted, that was a case of because of machinations by Lex. Technically, Grodd wasn't thinking straight because of Lex knew Grodd was going to kill this researcher he would have sent on ahead and would have kept his brain to eat so he could take his knowledge. So what did he do? He filled up the guy before he left. There was a bunch of drugs that would affect his brain chemicals so that when Grodd ate the brain, it would have made him much more sloppier.
And Cameron answers perfectly. Grodd versus Goliath would be gold.
It would.
I wouldn't say it would be King Kong versus Godzilla, but it'd be very close.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is, though, depending on who's writing Grodd, it could go either way. Well, depending on what the story calls for.
Agreed.
But I just want to throw that out there because, trust me, I've done some. I'm pretty good with other type of voices myself. Why do you think when I do PTN, I always try to slip in voices?
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yup, and trust me, I'm always getting people praising my voice acting.
Well, you're definitely good at it, buddy.
Why, thank you. Don't know who I was doing there.
But where are we? I mean,
Oh, yeah, right. So we are up through, we're still in the middle of New 52 after Damian's resurrection.
I mean, Stephanie, okay, Robin, okay, the whole aftermath of death of Robin. Stephanie and Cassandra would actually be present for this, for Leviathan.
Oh, yeah. So how would they? I think they would join in, but I think they would also realize that Bruce he needs to be the one to take it down because otherwise he's going to be holding on to this for a long time.
Yeah, Bruce would still go after Heretic. That would still play out.
And him now, double check if I'm wrong. Did he inject himself with man bat formula towards the end?
He did.
Thought so, but it treated him differently.
Yeah, he only took a mild dose, just enough to amp up his strength.
Right, and I still love that from Talia. No, he wouldn't. That is Chris Burnham's great artwork.
Like it is fantastic. Like I mean, the whole run is just solid. I mean, the obvious characterization problems with Talia aside, it is a solid run from beginning to
This
end.
is why I still say that after she was brought back and everything, she mellowed out.
Yeah, with see, do we still have the Patrick Gleason run? I mean,
I'd say we do. I'd say it's not really needed because we already added elements throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
but maybe the Talia portion would still happen.
Yeah, because Surin, I don't think Surin Surin Darga has done anything after that run ended. He was pretty much shelved after that.
Very true.
I mean, he may have had one or two appearances here and there, but not as many as, say, Maya or even... Well, Colin Wilkes gets a few cameos and annuals.
Well, and Goliath hasn't been seen either.
I think Goliath last notable appearance... I mean, he did come back for Joshua Williamson's run, but that was a glorified cameo that lasted, like, what, 2 issues?
I think that was his last time within Williamson's run. Wait, was he in Batman versus Robin?
No.
All right.
There would have been a good opportunity there, but no, Goliath did not play a role in Batman versus Robin with the Lazarus Planet.
Which I say, I like that event.
It was wrapping up all the melodrama between Bruce and Damian over Alfred. It was wrapping up a plot thread, but it was a fun ride for what it was.
And it gave Alfred a proper goodbye to Bruce. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
Yeah, because you kind of needed it.
But yeah, Stephanie would immediately lash out at Grayson in the immediate aftermath.
Oh, yeah.
And like Grayson, he actually tried to fight off Heretic. Grayson just got knocked out.
Yeah.
You're Nightwing. You're the Golden Boy, the original Robin. You get knocked down, you get right back up. And you're saying a synthetic man-child manhandled you? Okay, how's that any different from Superboy Prime? Whoa.
Oh.
Low blow, Dick. Low blow.
Yeah.
By the time Dick realized what he said, yeah.
Yep.
At least with Grayson losing the Heretic, that was a 1v1. Superboy Prime was a massacre.
Yeah.
Like it was.
By the way, what are your thoughts now of him fully redeemed, now taking up the Superman title?
It has potential, and they definitely set it up with Superman Unlimited and everything.
Oh no, just the regular Superman book. He was never in Unlimited.
I thought it was Superman Unlimited.
No, it was just regular Superman by Williamson.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, but yeah, I see the potential in it. It probably won't last long. Probably no more.
Oh no, obviously, but I do like. I think it's an interesting idea, and having all the Superboys having main stuff going on.
Except, Connor's going to have a role in Reign of the Superboys, but I don't.
Oh no, yeah, he's in the Supergirl book.
Yeah, but I don't think present
dealing with Boy Thunder. Present John's going to meet with his past self.
Oh, okay. I thought they were just going to keep him on Titans.
Oh no. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, yeah. Well, we don't know for certain if that's John or not on Titans.
Well,
no, that's just a silhouette.
Yeah, they might. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they changed that to Connor, if I'm being honest.
Well, we don't know. Let's wait and see.
Wait and see. If you don't know what we're talking about, check out the new DC solicitations. But we'll do our own separate reaction video on that. Probably.
Because if I'm going to be there, we'll definitely get through to it. Stating facts, dude. Stating facts.
Yeah. So like, okay. Can we still count that? I mean, yeah, from a fan perspective, it's a low blow, but I don't think we can use that because. Yeah.
No, we should have. No, let's not.
Yeah, that was a low blow.
Too
It's
low.
a,
That was too low. That was too low.
yeah, that was too low. That was
By the
hitting a
way,
low.
you know what? I guess you know one thing I really liked when it came to Morrison's run, that one young girl that Batman saved.
Okay.
The girl who was a prostitute who was clearly looks younger. She's not, but she looked younger.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I liked how we had that we see her pop up during Battle of the Cowl, setting up that she works as a receptionist at Wayne Tech. And what do we see? Where do we see her next?
Literally during the siege of Wayne Enterprises.
Yep.
With Talia's world trigger, but they managed to
But she's the one that Damian's protecting from Heretic.
So yeah, that was
I
her.
love that setup. I love that. That was like a long-term setup.
And yeah, and this would be an older, almost 15-year-old Ivan or Damian going up against an further enhanced heretic.
Remember, it's like he's still a baby.
No,
Heretic.
okay. So yeah, I mean, again, heretic would still have the physical advantage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's a much closer fight compared to what we actually got compared to main canon, where Damian just got curb stomped.
In fact, I could see that again with the girl, with her. That could be a case that leaves him open. Like Heretic realizes, okay, I'll go for her, and that leaves Damian gets a bit sloppy. Ivan gets a bit sloppy. Trying to protect her.
And then Grayson regains consciousness right after the battle ends.
Exactly. But here's a big thing I just realized. How would when Ivan comes back compared to Damian, how would he react to both his mother being killed and that it was the old Batwoman who did it?
Ivan would feel lament and like, hey, despite everything that happened, that was still his mom. That's still my mom. Like after everything that happened.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't say he'd be immediately over it. I feel like he'd be more concerned about the powers he inherited from the Chaos Shard.
And being de-aged.
And I'm like, I appreciate the powers, but did I really have to lose almost 5 years of my adolescence?
Hey, and I'm stuck this way.
This is getting annoying.
I know, but I think that could be part of the reason why they pair him up with John. It's because it's someone who they know John can keep him, to stop dwelling on it.
And yeah, Damien's pretty much annoyed by John at first. Like, hey, they don't really see them being friends or a duo. It's more so just a babysitter. He's more so annoyed by John than anything else. But
pretty quickly, he adjusts.
But yeah, Patrick Gleason's Robin, Son of Batman because it would be his new it would be a solo miniseries. Because a lot of those early plot points would be before, like, leading up to that. So if we did still get the Patrick Gleason run, it'd be cut in half.
Yep, and we would drop the We Are Robin.
Yeah, there'd be no reason.
So what was the point of that?
I feel like they wanted to set up a third Court of Owls to make a trilogy out of it, but it just,
but then they derailed it.
They derailed it and they just salvaged. I think it ended up carrying over in Nightwing Rebirth, a much more condensed version.
But that was only the one book, one issue.
Yeah, they never made an event out of it. It was just a Court of Owls follow-up.
Yep. How would we do Batman Eternal and Batman and Robin Eternal? How would Ivan react to Bruce losing his memory after Endgame?
At that point, Ivan will be old enough to just take the mantle himself. We wouldn't even need Grayson Batman.
No. Remember, it was Gordon.
Excuse me, Gordon.
Well, no, but remember, though, that's a case where someone else got the right to Batman.
That is true.
So I think he would feel like, wait, what? Seriously? The city is handling it?
And seriously, this is like the third time I've been snubbed. First
Like,
John Paul Valley, then Grayson, then
well,
Steph, and now this.
which is like,
Oh,
first you were too young for most of those.
at least with Stephanie, I could have at least been Robin by that point, but Father decided to be petty
I know, um,
for Batman.
Steamboat Valley, he would have been too young.
For Gene, I don't think I mean, in this, Ivan didn't debut until Prodigal. Like
But,
that was,
but you just had him say, first Steamboat Valley.
yeah, he's gonna reference it, but we know as the audience, like, hey, Ivan, you didn't even debut.
You're full of it. You're full of shit.
You're full of it. You didn't even debut during that, and even then, you were canonically like what 7?
Exactly. But still, though. But yeah. But again, though. But with Gordon doing it all, it's like, let's see what the old man can do. Because I didn't realize, what was Damian doing during that? Besides his own book.
Besides his own book and those journeys with both, the Sir and Darga, and I think the last couple of issues were really slice of life adventures, following up with my recreating the oath with Batman and Robin with Damien and Goliath. But other than that, I mean, those last 3 issues really didn't amount to anything other than setting up We Are Robin or what Damien was doing leading up to We Are Robin.
I do think Ivan would keep an eye on Gordon.
He would.
But at first, but he's like, the old man's got it. By the way, what did you think the fact that it was later revealed that Gordon was just dyeing his hair red?
I mean, yeah, I could see that because you don't want to.
Well, how was that? How was that for an explanation?
Yeah, because you had an opportunity to de-age Gordon with the New 52, but
Which they did. Well, they did, but then once they brought it all back, they then just stated, "Oh yeah, Dad dyed his hair red."
Yeah, we had to retcon it to where he just dyed his hair.
I love that. I also love how he's like, technically Jim and Gordon has a superpower. His mustache grows really fast.
Yeah, that was funny, but
and it's true, and it's true.
DC YOU, technically the Patrick Gleason run kind of bled into YOU by the time you got to the end.
True.
So that would mean the same. As for Rebirth, how would the Benjamin Percy run play out? Because he'd be. I mean, I'm not gonna say he'd be. Well, let's see. Even with the de-aging, I mean, but he was de-aged, so he's probably right at 13 again by Rebirth physically, but chronologically, he's like 16 to 17.
Mm-hmm.
I know Percy tried to pair Damian and Red Arrow for synergy purposes because he was on both books.
Nah.
But it just didn't work, and especially wouldn't work in this. Mm-hmm. I mean, chronologically they're the same age, but Damian was de-aged due to Flat was de-aged by Flashpoint and the Chaos Shard. It would just be weird. And Robert is tending to something.
Sorry about that.
And did you hear what I said?
Repeat the last part.
Okay. It would just be weird because although by this point Ivan would be canonically 16 to 17 years old, he was de-aged.
Yep. But how would he? What about? I just realized. What about the stuff in King's Run?
King's Run. I want to keep Alfred around, but it led to actually decent character work, even with 5G not happening. But I would.
What about before? What about the stuff with Selena? And I do think Ivan would chew him out. Be like, yeah.
At that point, I would actually allow Batcat to get married. At that point,
but that was again essential to the story.
But if I couldn't have that,
I think Ivan would feel like, okay, Father, I know you've had feelings for this woman, but now you're acting like you can't even live your life without her.
Snap out of it.
But instead, it's just like, fine. You want to wallow in self-pity?
Fine then, but don't be surprised. But don't be surprised if Bane burns the city to the ground.
And what happens?
Bane nearly burns the city to the ground.
Now, here's the one thing we cannot justify. We cannot. Him getting his butt kicked by old man Thomas.
Yeah, they literally did. Yeah, yeah.
No, wait a minute. He wasn't there for that. He was already captured.
I mean, yeah, no, Thomas did give Damien a chance to retreat, but he thought he could take him.
True. How would that play out here? Unless my guess is Gotham Girl would take Ivan out.
Yeah, I mean, Gotham. He did use magic, some magic he learned from Jin, basic magic, to bind Gotham Girl to a vine, but that would have only lasted like a few minutes,
And yeah, I could see that. And eventually, she gets out and then takes him down.
and then knocks him out. Unless Ivan actually realize it wasn't worth the risk, and then just secured a different route to sneak to Wayne Manor.
But then he was kicking himself. That would put more blame on himself than when Alfred gets killed.
Yeah, an older Ivan in that situation.
That could be like he thought he was playing smart, but then when Alfred gets killed, he can never forgive himself.
I would say Ivan would at least try to retreat, but Gotham, when he gets half across town, and right before he gets to the secret entrance to the manor, Gotham Girl catches up to him and knocks him out.
Yep. But yeah, like I said, he's then captured. Alfred gets snapped right in front of him.
And then because these two have history, because remember earlier in this video, in case you're watching this in the future, they did have a bit of a skirmish in Legacy.
Yep.
And yeah, Ivan only won that because Bane wasn't willing to kill a child. That's the only reason Ivan won that last duel.
And in this case, he doesn't. Bane isn't after Ivan. He doesn't want him dead. He wants him tortured.
And to break the bat, quote unquote.
Exactly.
He's not after Ivan this time around.
Exactly.
But but Ivan's pissed off, and he actually ends up fighting Bane directly. Ivan puts up a better. Ivan, we can even have it set up to where Ivan has improved since their last duel, but Bane quickly amps up the heat with the venom. You misunderstand, boy.
Then when last we met, I had weaned myself off of the venom.
No.
But now I have not only utilized it, but have remastered it. Venom does not control me. I control it.
And then, yeah, Venom just curb stomps Ivan and knocks him.
You mean Bane was on Venom, curb stomped him.
Bane, yeah, Bane. Yeah, Bane curb stomps Ivan. And then the only difference is, rather than just Damian being left in sorrow and he sneaks out of the manor, when Bruce is presented at the dinner table with Alfred's Ivan is there with him, but Ivan's revealed to be out.
Right. But of course, though, then that leads to him starting to lose it. And I'll be honest, I didn't mind that with Adam Glass.
I get what they were trying to do. It just felt conflicted at the time because you had two separate creative teams trying to reach the same conclusion due to editorial mandate, and it just created a bunch of inconsistencies.
Oh, yeah. But I definitely thought between the two, Glass's one worked better.
Yeah, because at least with if you go by if you go by Kings, it's just Damian going off the deep end as a trauma response from Alfred's death. Like, it's a realistic outcome. It's a trauma response, but Damian's been.
But we didn't have that much to work. King didn't have that much to work on it.
True.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I like what Glass did.
Glass, you could argue, say what you will about the Glass run, but at least you can make the argument Glass had a bit more setup with his.
And again, Crush.
Crush.
Oh boy, how would Ivan be with Crush now that he's an older mindset?
Crush Ivan would be pretty cool with Crush. He would audibly recognize that, Wallace wanted to prove a point, the responsibility of the hero life, collateral damage we leave in our wake. But
how would he be with Jin?
Ivan would recognize the pitfalls in that situation a lot better. One, despite Jin not having a lot of agency, she was still conscious and witnessed a lot of the atrocities she was forced to commit. So she fully realized that despite being over 4,000 years old, she has the vitality of essentially a teenage girl. Probably.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think Ivan, now him doing the whole capturing criminals, everything, that he would still do, because it's like something he would do.
Yeah.
The way he was treating Jin and Crush, no. He would have handled it so much better.
He would have handled that a lot differently. Like, hey, this is purely for interrogation purposes, and then we just send them off to prison afterward.
But then after what's his name? Roundhouse.
Roundhouse, yeah, Roundhouse still, has victim mentality over the death of his sister. He would have crashed out on Ivan regardless.
Yep, and the whole wishing Jin away. Oh boy, I think even Ivan would lose it.
And I'm like, you're a damn idiot.
Exactly. Again, I didn't think that stuff was bad. I think that's the funny thing is, I think there was a lot more good the Glasses run than you give it credit for.
Yeah, like I said, but because we didn't know the details, what we know now with hindsight and that 5G never would have worked, we can then go back and see the Atom Glass in a vacuum for what it was. Like, hey, it wasn't that bad. It was just all the editorial stuff that was trying to lead up to what was
exactly. And
but
hey,
on its own, the Atom Glass run is not that bad.
And also, let's be honest, it added more to the Deathstroke run too.
True.
And again, Crush. I'm sorry, I can never let Crush go. She's one of my favorite new characters of the past decade.
Ivan wouldn't be such a tiny tyrant because, again, even if slightly...
Even though he's still stuck in his age, of which I think even Crush would be like, listen here, brat, why should we listen to a kid like you? Like, technically, I'm older than you. I'm just stuck in this age. Oh, yeah, one of those situations, huh?
Yeah, I am literally in a younger body. I had powers for a while. Chaos Shard, New Gods Artifact.
I tried asking Jin if I could even wish to be older. She said the Chaos magic it wouldn't be and has to wear off. I can so see that. He asked Jin, could you undo it? And she says, can't.
But would their connection which leads into her backstory and their pseudo relationship, would that still happen going into the end of the first Teen Titans annual? Ultimately, yes, because you have to move the plot along.
Mm-hmm.
But Ivan would actually realize the connotation of that situation. Like, hey, this is someone who has little to no agency, someone who's very emotionally vulnerable, and pretty much the magic of equivalent of something very significant. And then I was completely mission-minded about it. I was not sensitive to her at all.
Exactly.
I mean, the alternative was getting medical attention, risking my entire operation getting exposed. But still, I could have handled that situation better.
Now, I'm thinking at the end, once he leaves the Titans, that's when he actually ages back up.
By that point. By the time the Atom Glass run ends, he's back to his original age.
Exactly. I can say almost like days after he left, which I can see if Crush ever meets up with him again, be like, oh, you were serious about that.
Yeah.
And she would that's so what Crush would be like. I could so see she never believed it. She thought he was full of it.
And I want to apologize to all of you. And even though, and I would just have it here like Blood fell victim to his own revenge scheme. And it's kind of a revert, and it's kind of to harken back to the Benjamin Percy run, to where similar to what Grayson and Deathstroke's deal with the Ravager persona for Rose, Damian made a similar deal if Deathstroke, and bought out Black Mass's original revenge bounty on the Titans.
Ah.
And Cameron asked, so he wouldn't keep a torture dungeon straight out. Okay, he would still be proactive.
That is something Ivan would still do, especially if he's reeling.
Yeah.
If he's still reeling from what happened to Alfred, he would do it.
And trying to get answers of the other. But by the time you get Jin's backstory and their sensual bond, because that's the most appropriate way I could say it without vomiting, Damian, I'm not going to say Ivan would brainwash the villains, but he would ensure they'd be reincarcerated. And he would openly apologize to Ivan, to Jin, hey, even though I was injured, I had a falling out with our handler. You were opening up to me, and I shouldn't have indulged, mission optics or otherwise. Not realizing Jin was already bound by Roundhouse by this point, so Jin never fully heard what Ivan said. She might have she witnessed the event itself, but she didn't. But she wasn't present for it. She ends up.
What about Year of the Villain?
Yeah, all this bled into Year of the Villain. This would all play out relatively the same way.
Oh yeah, dealing with Lobo. Oh boy, Lobo would still trounce even Ivan, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, even because again, he's still limited by a younger body.
Mm-mm.
So yeah.
Okay, here's a big question: Emiko killing Deathstroke.
Killing Deathstroke for Damian. Even though I could see Amiko still being tempted to take the shot, especially with a slightly more mature Damien in the mix.
Well, I still he needs him to die because of what happened in Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deathstroke has a healing factor. I
But
feel
technically, he was dead.
yeah, it was a clean shot to the head, but I would alter it to where either she misses or Deathstroke intercepts it with a swing of his sword in time.
Well, but how do we lead to his death still? Because that's never his run.
Maybe when Deathstroke retaliates and tries to go for Damien, Jin crashes out and fires a blast of magic at Deathstroke, which causes his body to contort.
Okay. Or, or how about this? He catches the sword and the arrow, leads to it. Jin then sends the arrow back. When she crashes out, sends the arrow, and it still hits him in the eye.
Fair enough.
Because I want to still keep it identical to what. Because I don't want to mess with Priest's run.
Yeah, we do it.
I don't care about what you think about Glass. I am not messing Priest's run. That is still one of the gold standards.
Deathstroke hardly gets any major solo series. He plays
50 issues. 50 issues.
Yeah, the Priest run is solid. I'm not refuting it. My only folly is the whole Deathstroke and Son. I feel like they were trying to retcon Damian being Bruce's biological son.
That's what Priest wanted to do, but he was never going to be allowed it.
Yeah, editorial was not having it. Which I could see where Priest is coming from, because Damian, it kind of hinders the sidekick dichotomy. It makes Damian kind of a nepo baby. So I understand why Priest would want to retcon it, but he should have known editorial wasn't going to let him do it.
Mm-hmm.
He should have known.
Especially when it's not a bat book.
If it was an Elseworlds story, go nuts. But I mean, in main continuity, I'm surprised they even let you make a mystery out of it.
Exactly, but still,
Otherwise,
but he was allowed to utilize it towards the end by having be that dark multiverse version of himself. It was his son.
Okay.
He was able to do that.
Okay, they at least gave him that much. They at least gave him that towards the end.
Yeah, because that was an interesting thing.
And the reason we're saying this with the Adam Glass run is because, for one, even with the de-aging with the Chaos Shard, Ivan would be in a much more mature mindset compared to main continuity Damian, who would be right at 13 years old.
He hadn't had the age up skip yet, but he was just about to.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, by the time the run ends, it would have already worn off. The Chaos Magic would have worn off.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about in the regular universe.
Okay.
In the regular universe, yeah. And by the way, we should start wrapping up if we want to get this done before New Year's.
Yeah, we really do. But
okay, but we're getting close. We're getting close. So
we're getting close.
Now, what about the Lazarus Island? Now that I'm thinking that's the first time Flatline has seen him since the last time she saw him when he was de-aged. So it'll be like, well, it finally wore off.
Not like I expect you to wait 5 years from me.
I was able to keep myself busy.
Hello, we literally have a Kung Fu Death tournament to resolve. You can flirt later. And this is Respawn saying this.
But yeah, I think it would play out relatively the same. Although, how would Ivan react to finding out about his grandmother?
I'm not surprised.
I mean, great-grandmother.
I'm not surprised, but really, if you were going to con someone for a mystical artifact, Lord Deathman, really? Out of anybody you could have conned. I mean,
how would he also react to hippie Raish?
I just feel like he would be more dumbfounded than anything. But Ivan versus Connor Hawk, that is a close fight, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Connor Hawk is a more established character. Connor Hawk is one of the best martial artists out there. But that's the difference. Here's the difference. Not only this is an earlier debuted, more established Ivan/Damian Wayne, he doesn't even have the nerf from his de-aging because it finally wore off. So
exactly. And the way I see it is, he was still learning stuff even while he was de-aged.
Whereas Connor was relatively stagnant as he was reintegrated into the post-New 52 landscape.
Now, here's something else, though, when it comes to I'm trying to regain my train of thought there. Oh yeah, Ravager.
As for Ravager, I mean, yeah, they did have a brief bond in the Jeff Johns Teen Titans 03 run, but outside
Oh
of
no, that wasn't. That was Krull. Krull who did it.
oh, Krull took over at that point. Okay,
Yeah, that was right towards the end. That's when Krull was jumped on. Was during that run.
I always believe Connor can and should. Yes, Connor is a more experienced fighter. I'm just saying that Ivan would be a bit older and a bit stronger.
But it still would end up the same way.
It wouldn't be a curve. It wouldn't be an overall curve sign, and then Damian ends up losing his second life in the tournament. Ivan would actually be able to put up a bit more of a fight.
But I was bringing up with I could so see either during the Titans or at this point, Ivan would so be like, you know, I think he would tease Rose and even just throw out the idea of, why don't you go hook up with Jason? I know that's something he would have said during the Teen Titans run when he heard I heard when you were so desperate to stay on the team, you actually was throwing yourself at Drake. Why? When you could.
I mean, if you want a brooding bad boy Robin so badly, there's Todd, and then Ivan says this as a joke, and then years later, holy crap, they actually did it.
Well, briefly.
No, still, I don't know to be infuriated or impressed. Infuriated by Rose's low standards and daddy issues, or impressed at a street light like Jason Todd actually pulled it off.
Or you were that desperate. Right? He would then turn it back at Rose like, or you were that desperate.
I mean, the daddy issues is one thing, but really?
I just found him cute. Nothing else came of it.
You have precognition and you still went with it. You're enjoying
it's not like I know, like nothing more happened.
It's Jason. It's Jason. It's Todd. He'll take anyone he can get. You're goddamn right. Seriously. So Todd, how's Artemis working out? Shut up. Okay. I mean, there's not really much more to cover after that, at least going to the main continuity. I mean, you can't really do Batman and Robin 2023 because Ivan would be almost a grown adult by this point. He'd be getting ready to rebrand to his own persona. Ivan would be a lot older, and you would probably be preparing to introduce a new Robin, unless you were going to give Duke the gig and have him graduate from Signal to Robin. Robert?
No, I'm right here. I was on mute.
All right. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did, about Signal.
Yeah, because again, you can't really do Batman and Robin 2023 because it was largely just a revamp to include Batman more and boost the.
Wait, did we say about how Batman versus Robin would play out? Would it be no different?
It would virtually be no different, except
he would still be possessed. He would still be possessed.
He would still be possessed, but maybe some tie-in issues on how he possessed each of the individual Robins, like if you really want to drag it out. But otherwise, it would just play out the same way.
But yeah, the Batman and Robin. Although, again, Bruce first meeting Flatline, I love that.
I feel like, especially with this.
So then I feel like sometimes Flatline is Williamson's pet character sometimes.
And Bruce is like, so you two are finally dating. What do you mean? Well, you've been on multiple team ups. You've rode the line of hero and villain. You've rode the line of being a villain. I mean, seriously. I know my son. I know he doesn't go out of his way for anyone.
And Damian, it's better to just admit it. Yes, I admit it.
Are we done? Seriously, it's bad enough I lost 5 years of my adolescence. I don't need to be teased about it either. On top of it,
doesn't it help that Grandpa actually found it amusing too?
What are you talking about?
Remember that bit was Ray saying he is his father's son?
Oh! I thought you were in character. Okay.
Oh no! I wasn't character. So it'd be like bad enough that Grandpa found it funny.
I'm surprised Talia didn't try to throw a dagger at Nika's head. Oh, she tried.
But again, we would take some elements, but the way it's going with PKJ's run, everything wouldn't work. It's too incompatible.
By the Yeah, because that's a completely different dynamic, and Ivan would be a lot older by this point.
But overall, we're still caught up.
Yeah, I was originally planning this to
Because
be a
unfortunately, Damien has not been utilized as much frequently these days.
even though we're ending Batman and Robin to focus, so we could focus on having two Robins in the Batman comic. He's still co-sharing the role with Tim in a one's a partner and the other's a sidekick type dichotomy, and that just doesn't work with an older Ivan. Either stick to Tim being Red Robin and have him rebrand, and
I think here he would have stayed Red Robin throughout all of this.
he wouldn't have regressed, even if we factored Bendis's young
Drake.
No. Or if you are going to give him Drake, give him a better costume than a doo-doo brown stealth suit.
Right. But still, though, even if we go through all of that, though, like I said, I do, and yeah, just, yeah. But yeah, as it stands, I do think even Ivan was, here's something else. I think Ivan would eventually be like, you know what, Drake? If you want to be Robin so much and it's your security blanket, you take it.
I don't care.
And he goes like, as it stands, I'm not going to have any identity. And he actually dresses more like he does in the Kingdom.
More regal, more aristocratic.
I'm going to change things.
He may put on he may put on a sleek maybe Batman Beyond its prototype stealth suit,
but only when he's going into action. When he's around normally, he's wearing the regal outfit.
And I guess we okay, maybe okay. I wasn't gonna say anything. I know we agreed not to introduce Nightstar, but there was a brief time travel story with the Kingdom Titans.
But that was way back, way back.
Wait, were you sure that wasn't in? Yeah, because Kingdom Come was in '97. This would have been around like '99, right at 2000.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about during the Titans.
Yeah, I know we skipped over it, but if we are addressing that story briefly, and then if I could get away with just like one tie-in, Ivan would look at Nightstar. Nightstar would glance back at him, and knowing Ivan knows body language, I would say something, but I don't want to give Grayson PTSD. Wait, what does that mean? Ask Nightstar if she's seeing anyone. Wait, and then Nightstar is just sheepish, like with him.
Now, of course, since Nightstar doesn't exist in this timeline, I think at one point if he ever thinks back about it, he'd be like,
"Yeah,
pity,
hyper time and all that." But Grayson would still get parental about it, like, "Ivan, you get back here." Trust me, Grayson, you do not want to talk about this. Oh, we're talking about
it's like, she's not even your actual daughter. She's some alternate version of your daughter. Don't think about it too much.
Oh, like the Capulets and the Montague? Okay, you're not really helping yourself with that comparison, Grayson. It's a parallel Earth. I haven't done anything. I'm at least 10 years older than her at the bare minimum.
Clearly that because since clearly over 10 years have passed since I've been born, nothing's happened with you, and nothing's happened with you in Starfire. She ain't gonna exist.
Still, Grayson, the only way you can make this logically sound is this with a simple phrase. Oh, and what's that, Damie? Multiverse theory's a bitch. Usually I call you out in your practice, but I'll let you have that.
But anyway, regardless, okay, though, I said, though, but I do think that's actually a good point at the end of him actually fully becoming just Ivan, not Robin.
Yeah, he'll still make appearances from time to time, but kind of, ease Ivan out, like he's been an assassin, he's been the support, he's been in the background.
He's been back to being a kid.
Like he's at a good place right now, focusing more on the regal side of things, maybe going to business, helping Lucius.
Maybe working together with Flatline.
Yeah, maybe taking some dealings abroad. But in terms of being Robin and fighting in Gotham, this would be a good opportunity for Ivan to step away.
And I do also think him coming to admitting his feelings for Flatline would also change his dynamic.
Seriously, I mean, Okay, we'll let, and then maybe we'll have like a little epilogue with Steph. Like, look, you kept the girl waiting for 5 years, and you technically cheat. Nope, we're not talking about that, Steph. Nope, nope, nope. Jen and I were kindred spirits. Nothing physically happened. What are you talking about? She healed you over with Steph. For the love of the god, shut up.
Again, you know what you keep reminding me of course, the bouncy pit. I see a smile. You're dreaming.
Seriously, where's that Black Mercy when you actually need it?
But still, though, but yeah, we have that little bit. But yeah, like I said, I do think it feels logical for Ivan to step away.
At that point, maybe do an Ivan Flatline miniseries, but
Mm-hmm.
and then we're just Ivan in a basic stealth suit, and just them taking down mercenaries abroad together.
While also having some fun in their private time, personal time.
But other than that, until the next major reboot, I just don't see Ivan becoming Robin again at this point, unless something
No,
happened to him or he was forced to come back.
but he's still important to the Bat family. But he's about as separated as Jason is currently.
He'll help from time to time, but he's largely
Oh
doing.
wait, I just realized. How about Ivan during Hush 2?
That book got delayed to oblivion, and we don't really know how that's going to end. But
but him working with Bane.
I mean, that just wouldn't happen.
Even currently, it shouldn't have happened. Seriously, did Loeb keep on forgetting that Damien's supposed to be 13, not 10?
Not to mention, and even on top of that, if Hush 2 was supposed to be an Elseworld or a continuity story, it would be a lot more tolerated because
But it's not.
I just feel like it would have been accepted more. If I had
But anyway, I would have thrown out as a possibility.
No, it's fine. I just feel like I don't know how Hush 2 is gonna end, so I don't really know how and what way.
Clearly not that importantly.
Yeah.
Except for Red Hood, which of course we know how that went.
That was supposed to set up his new series with Huntress, and then due to a controversy, which we're not going to name here because we don't want to get demonetized, but if you know, you know, that book ended up getting canceled. And as for the one-shot issue they did to salvage, because the
was not that good.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't even to salvage anything, dude. The thing happened the same day the issue released.
Oh, so it was already done.
Literally, the day it released.
Wow, and you pull a stunt like that on social media.
Well, to be fair, even before what happened to Kirk happened, she was already making waves by saying, making statements about, people were upset. Then I looked at it and they said, and because the cops being shot, and I thought, oh, what's the big deal? She was already shooting herself in the foot.
Yeah, and the controversy was just an excuse to out her. Was she free?
Well, to be fair, I think that was the bridge too far. Like, I already think she would have been talked to for that statement, the cop statement already. But then the Kirk statement is what they said, like, okay,
you're done.
And well, they gave her an option. They said, if you want to just apologize, I ain't apologizing for nothing.
She refused to do it, and then accept the Kirk statement again. If you know, you know.
Well, no. She refused to apologize for the Kirk statement.
Oh, then okay.
That's why she flat out refused. And then later, how much do you think what she claims her plot line or ending was going to be is true, and how much of it was just being spiteful? Which was Jason assassinating the president, taking his own life, and then Batman looking at the camera saying, "This is a good thing."
I would say that's largely spite.
Yeah, but for all we know, that could have been her plan.
Again, blessing in disguise. But again, the only reason we're not bringing up Hush 2, I just don't know how it's going to end, especially when you deviate from the Red Hood plans and how the whole reason they made him a villain for that. I would just have to wait till the ending of Hush 2, and maybe we can do like an immediate follow-up as to how that went. But
as it stands, Ivan has stepped away.
Yeah.
By the time of PKJ coming on the book. No, by the time of the Batman Robin book, he's already starting to. I say by the time Williamson's run ended, it's fully now, like he stepped away. Like PKJ's run hasn't happened.
Yeah, PKJ's run just wouldn't have happened.
Sorry, PKJ, but I gotta say that run has been one of his weakest work.
The Memento arc wasn't. The Memento arc is really.
It's more for the artwork. It's more for the artwork. I love that artwork for some other books, just not this book.
Like I said, the Memento arc isn't bad. It's just dragged out. But I would say out of the entire run, the Memento arc is the weakest.
But I would say it would have worked if he had a different artist.
True.
I'm sorry. The artwork is too muddy. Too dark.
You can barely make anything out. It's not Superior levels of mismatch, but it's a bit of a mismatch.
Okay. You're starting to get tired. I don't want you to miss out on New Year, so let's start wrapping it up.
I'm not tired, man. We could really talk about this all night, but I know we ain't got that kind of time. But
yeah, this was fun. This was fun. Coming up with basically showing that Damian, if he came through. Now, keep in mind, would this have happened? Probably not. This is more of our case of trying to retcon him in.
Not to mention, no one really wanted to take a Blood Son of Batman seriously outside of Elseworlds stories.
Well, not only that, but it's the other thing is, it's like what happened when J.M. DeMatteis did his What If Jason Had Lived, of which, I'm sorry, that mini was a disappointment.
True. Because all it would have amounted to was Jason going off the deep end or outright killing the Joker. Those are really the only conclusions.
And then Batman is one, because this was an Elseworlds thing, not what could have happened in continuity. Bruce gives up being Batman, marries a psychiatrist.
Which was arguably, yeah. At least with the earlier renditions of this, they just had Jason comatose and shelved. Otherwise, because that's really the only other direction you can go without.
Yeah, that's something you and I should come up with. What if Jason did live, but we do our own take and try to fit it in with continuity?
I actually have a thumbnail saved right around. I didn't thumbnail saved right for that topic. I didn't end up doing it because I thought the one they actually did was gonna make it defunct, but
no, it ended up being it ended up being a flop. And I gotta say, also James DeMatteis on Spider-Man 94. That's not a good book. Because you know what my problem with is? Don't bring Moreland in so soon. I'm sorry. No, not Moreland. And I'm sorry. Also, why is Craven being back to being a villain again?
Because they keep.
I'm sorry. He was actually a good guy.
Are we talking recently or 94?
94.
Okay.
I'm talking about in the cartoon.
Wait, Spider-Man was 90. I thought that series was 98.
No, 94.
Okay.
They call it Spider-Man 94, and that's the continuation.
Okay.
And like I said, Craven is back to being a villain again. And you're going to be Moreland, and it's like, why Moreland? And Kane, they're already bringing... Now, Kane I can accept, but Moreland? I mean, say what you do about X-Men 97. At least there, it's, they were still doing mostly stories from that area that would have logically happened next. Very few, aside from like Jubilee's new outfit, her outfit and all that, were from the modern day.
I mean, and say what you will, I'm not condoning the whole Magneto Rogue thing at all.
But that happened. It happened in the comics.
An out of continuity story that was never referenced again.
No, even in continuity. That was her and Joseph. The clone of Magneto.
But even then, I appreciate they tried to do something new rather than just have a logo.
But it was a retcon. It was a major shoehorn retcon.
I agree. But at least it was at least they actually did something else other than Wolverine, just a Wolverine versus Cyclops dogfight for the billionth time.
Exactly. But like I said, though, but the fact is, like I said, the only modern thing they did was Bastion to a degree in Jubilee's outfit.
Which were relative to that era of the source material that series was based on.
No, Jubilee's outfit was not. That was more
that's
2010s.
Modern. That's modern. Jubilee's new outfit was modern.
But that was more of just a design, of which I guess they still, That was one of my favorite moments. Game over, Sleezo. I'm sorry, Jubilee's always been my favorite X-Men, and I love it when people remind us she is way more powerful than you think. I'm always so tired of people saying she's a rip-off, a knockoff Dazzler. That's one thing to get me pissed off, is to call her a Dazzler knockoff when their powers aren't even identical.
I mean, they have light based, but they're similar. They have
No. She's closer to Gambit. Remember that. She detonates. And remember, Dazzler absorbs sound and turns it into light. Jubilee detonates matter at a subatomic level, but unlike Gambit, she doesn't have to touch it.
Yeah, Gambit actually has to make physical contact to detonate something.
But Jubilee has had mental blocks, so that's why she's never been that powerful. But she is theoretically a borderline Omega. Even Emma herself has said that.
Which brings me back to the melodrama of X-Men 97. I'm just going back to this briefly. A mutant collar or a suppressant collar or a suppressant wristband would have solved a lot of Rogue's inhibitions.
That's true.
That would have solved just about all of it right there. I know you melodrama and to set up Gambit's death, especially if you're going to do Apocalypse again for the new season. It worked for the melodrama, and it helped set the stage for the Genoshan massacre and Gambit's death. But otherwise, it's just a dead plot point that dragged on way too long.
Agreed. But still, though, you get my point, though, why the difference between that and 90 and 94. That would have been like they would have brought in Hope Summers in the first season of 97.
Oh, boy.
So you get what I'm saying, though? That's the comparable thing.
I get what you're saying.
Or if they did No More Mutants in that first season.
House of M, yes, I get it.
Yeah, that's what using Moreland right away is comparable to. Okay, dude, I gotta wrap up.
Same. I feel like that's a good place to call it. Robert, thank you so much for coming on to the show. Anything or what you got coming out?
Check out my if you put the link down below, check it out. I got Pro Teachers Do, but I'm building up to my 650th next Friday.
And as anything else?
Well, I was going to say also, as which I cover Dan Slott's Silver Surfer. Hopefully you'll be there, man.
Hopefully. As for me, you can find me at JHeat Blaze or JHeat75.
Duke? Did you freeze? Hello?
Sorry about that. I was saying you can find me at JHeat Blaze or JHeat75. I do gaming, video reviews. Also, I wanted to get this in before the end of the year. It just didn't turn out that way. Deadpool and Wolverine. Hopefully it'll be myself. Hopefully it'll be myself, Taladia, Robert, Nick, and my brother Kid Takeoff. And we'll probably set that up before the end of January. Also, DC solicitations. March solicitations are on now. March. So
February and March is what we have to do.
February and March. Okay, thank you for that.
You already have it ready to go for next week.
Okay, that's already next week. Thank you so much for that, Robert. And Happy New Year. We probably got about 25 minutes left by the time the stream wraps up. But in case you're watching this in the future, happy holidays, happy New Year. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all so much for joining us tonight, everybody. Flame off.